We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey, see, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure. If you looking to find us, we them nothing but Niners. Nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but the Niners.
Click, boom. What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back, guys. We are here. This is the time. The schedule comes out tomorrow. Some people are saying it leaked already. We're going to break all of it down here. We're going to try to bring you guys a schedule prediction show, all right? We're going to try to discuss who we're playing, when we're playing them, who's going to be on prime time and who's not. Also, some opportunity for some flex games because we saw the Niners getting moved all around the board at the end of last season. I'm your guy, 49ers Mike _ NFL. Right there above me is my man Nick, 49 Faithful 365. Over on this side is my man Tony, NJ Niner Fan 499. And up there, right there, is my man Breezy, 49ers Breezy with the IE, not with the Y. Give us all follows on Twitter. We got to go through some formalities, and then we got to pay some respects. So, guys, if this is your first time here on the YouTube page, we want to thank you guys for checking us out. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you know exactly when we are supposed to be going live, okay? So, guys, that is very, very important. If you enjoy the show, let us know. Give us some feedback and all that good stuff, but the thumbs up definitely help. All right, hit up the website, guys. It's www.nothingbutniners.com. That is where you're going to get your articles, episodes of this. You're going to get the podcast. You're going to get everything about us. You have a page dedicated just to you guys, a fan page where you guys are in your game day attire. You're out there at the games, whatever it is. You got your decked out car, your decked out desk. You're at home and you're tired of not going out, but your bed is still decked out. Send those pictures, guys. You get it all right there at nothingbutniners.com. You can send them through email. That is nb9ers@nothingbutniners.com. Right there at the bottom of the screen, nb9ers@nothingbutniners.com. We also, guys, want you guys to check out our apparel site, okay? That is going to be www.shopnb9ers.com. Again, that is www.shopnb9ers.com. And I got to give you guys the other social media handles, okay? Twitter and Snapchat, nothing but 9 ERS. Again, that is nothing but 9, the number 9 ERS. And then last but not least, our Facebook and Instagram, guys. Nothing but Niners with spaces in there. Nothing but Niners. All right. Y'all know what it is already, man. Enough of the formalities, guys. How y'all feeling today, man? What's up, fellas?
What up?
What's good, man? It's a good day. It's a good day. It's a good night, man. Man, I'm anticipating the schedule, man, and I couldn't help it but stay off the leak. So there's a bunch of spoiler alerts going on out there, and I'm just hoping they're not right. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a show to bring you guys. What's good, Tony?
What's up, fellas?
I was wondering if he was going to speak tonight, man. I haven't heard him pre-game, nothing. He's just been sitting there just chilling.
I'm reading something.
He getting his read on, man. Tony's educated, bro.
All right, all right, guys. So listen, man, we got to start with some respect. We talked about at the top of the show, man. Nick is over there. He's waiting patiently. My man Breezy is waiting over there. And I think my man's Tony. Well, you good? You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. My man is ready, guys. So for those of you who don't know, today is what? National Nurse Day?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got this big family, and I started something in the text chat this morning. I was like, guys, any nurses in our family? And I started getting some names and everything. And then someone else was like, by the way, it's Teacher Appreciation Week. Did you guys know that too?
Yes, it is.
Man, I gotta get out more. I had no idea. I don't know what it is. I didn't know about either one. But we're gonna start with the nurses here, man. We're gonna do the teachers later on this week, but right now we want to do this because this is their day. We want to show some respect to the nurses. This is an idea by Nick for us to do. So I want to pass it up to him. Let him give an explanation on exactly what it is that you guys are about to see.
Yeah, I mean the NFL. A lot of NFL players. I believe George Kittle actually started it, and you take a jersey, you write a name of a nurse on it. Somebody who's on the front lines. And it's basically you're supposed to hashtag it as well. And when you hashtag it, you're supposed to put, I'm going to tell you the exact hashtag just because I forget exactly what it's called. The real heroes, hashtag the real heroes. So basically it's Nurse Appreciation Day. And obviously with all the frontline workers out there with the whole COVID-19 going on, we wanted to show some appreciation here as well. From MBN here. And that's pretty much it.
All right. So yeah, man, that's it. Hashtag what?
The real heroes.
The real heroes. Okay. All right. Hashtag the real heroes. I'm going to make sure that, you know what we should do? We should go like full screen and then like I'm going to try to take a picture of the screen. Can we do that?
Yep.
Yeah, you could take a picture of the screen. So you just click here.
If somebody, you do like a screen grab or something of all four of us doing this at the same time. So let's go around. Let's start with Breezy, back to Nick, and then Tony, and then myself. We'll say who we're holding this up for and show off what we got, fellas.
All right, man. So as you can see, I'm gonna show you the number. I'm gonna get back right there. The number is 42, so you guys know who that is, right? And the name on the jersey is my Aunt Donna Randall, man. She's been doing this for 41 years, and I'm knowing that she's gonna be alive, so she's gonna do it for 42 years. So I'm giving her that extra year, and then maybe she'll retire. I don't know, but this is for my Aunt Donna. I love you. Thank you for all that you do. I truly appreciate you, and you are my real American hero. G.I. Joe!
Yeah. Mike, you're on mute.
I clicked the wrong thing. I said, man, I love it, man. I should never let Breezy go first. Now I got to give like this heartfelt, this message. Shout out to Auntie, 41 years in, man. Giving her that one for good luck. I like that, man. Very, very nice, man. I see what you did there. Shout out to Miss Randall there. All right. I like that. Nick, you're up. It's a tough act to follow, bro. Good luck.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm going to go with one of my buddies and his wife. We've talked about it here plenty of times with Marcus. His wife is a NICU, I believe, nurse, and also working on the front lines. So I'm going to show appreciation to her, and that's Victoria Mosley. Actually, let me go back right there. And it actually fits better on this Reuben Foster jersey. So we're going to keep the Victoria Mosley on there. I'm going to rock that. So I got to get that ghosting fixed. But, yeah, big shout out to Victoria and, the Mosley family. And, much love and appreciation, man.
All right. Tony, man. You're up.
I don't have one specific person, so I did to all the nurses on the front line.
Oh, man. Now, see, God, he should have went last. See what I'm saying? Like, now I feel selfish and stuff.
Cooperate with me, this tape here. So I did it all nurses on the front line. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication. You guys don't get recognized as much as you should. And to the doctors as well, but today's National Nurse Day, so we're going to stick with the nurses on my Bosa jersey, which is signed, by the way.
Nice.
He just had to get a signed
jersey. Man, oh, you guys are killing it, man. I love you guys so
Why
much.
we always got to one-up one another, yo? Why we can't just have an equal playing field?
Because we're competitive, bro. We're all competitive. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, look.
I know nurses, but I just know their first names. I don't know, from doing what I do for a living, you sometimes you have to go to the hospital with people and, hey, Jessica. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah, that's how it was when I was in the fire department, man. It's like I know so many nurses and so many doctors and so many firemen and so many frontline people. And it is. I like what you did, Tony, because it's very hard to pick just one. So, much appreciation to all those guys, man.
Absolutely. And I'm going to break mine out here. This is a jersey that I never thought I was going to get the opportunity to bust out again here. But you guys can see here, I have my cousin here. When we were growing up, we were like best friends, okay? My family, we were one of the family. I told you guys we grew up in like a big church, right? Like it was all cousins. Like everybody in there was all family members. It was a church from down south, but our family was super duper tight. It was like my best friend. She got married. I got married. We got families. We don't get to see each other much, but the love doesn't change. Her name is Kaneen Pringle. I don't know if one of you guys can click the solo layout for me. Let's get this up there on the screen real quick so you guys can see. And I put it on my 49, which used to be a Bruce Miller jersey, but she's going to mend those wounds and make it all better. All right. 14 years on the job. Thank you, KJ. Love you and appreciate you very, very much. All right, guys. So that's going to do it for our segment there. I'm going to hang this here for the remainder of the show. Let that hang out right there with me. All right. And that's going to do it for our hashtag The Real Heroes. All right. So that's it for us, man. If you guys out there in the chat have any heroes that you want to pay some tribute to, let us know right now. I know we got some stuff coming in. One of the people who are doing the painting for us, that he's a nurse too, isn't he?
Yep. Yes,
correct. Avery, yes.
Yeah, yep. Avery's a nurse also. So shout out to Avery, going through it over there too, man. You guys, people putting their health and their families' health on the line. And a lot of jobs, I don't know about the nurses at all, but my job gave us the opportunity. Like, if you guys don't want to do this, you have your opportunity to walk away. You know what I mean? You'll use your vacation and your personal time, but that's it. We're not going to pay you if you choose to walk away. These guys, I don't even know if they were given opportunities to do that. Front line, front and center, nonstop, without question, pulling those crazy shifts and everything. So shout out to them. We love and respect all of you guys. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I was looking for some of the comments here, and it started popping in way too fast.
Yeah, the news about Bryant Young's mom.
Yeah, so rest in peace to Bryant's mother.
Yep, Miss Alice.
Right. I was looking at the post, and I was working when I first saw it, and I thought it said that she passed of COVID. But what he was talking about was because of COVID, they can't do the service the way they want to. Mm-hmm. So that was at least a good thing. It wasn't something that, this illness is taken away from people. But yeah, man. So rest in peace to her. Prayers out to the family. Strength to Mr. Bryant Young and his family, man. All right. And let's see here.
Let's talk about 49er news, man. What's going on with the Niners right now, bro?
So I don't know if you guys seen the tweet that just came out by Tom Pelissero, but I'll pull it up here real quick. Let's see here. So it says the NFL tonight issued a memo laying out protocols to teams on how club facilities may reopen. There you go, including consent from local state government officials, establishments of a club infection response team, social distancing, temperature screening, and other measures per sources. So this is a step in the right direction. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on this.
Yeah, I mean, the world is trying to figure out a way to reset, right? And they're trying to figure out a way to reset in a more positive light, and they're gonna have to take precautions because once this world reopens again, man, we're gonna be mad, acceptable to recreating this disease, and it might be in even worse way. There's still no vaccine. There's still no things out there, and I'm very iffy on like a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the NFL is trying to continue and move along. And I'm glad that as an organization, as a business, that they're trying to do stuff and precautionary and take the right precautionary steps. Have teams in place if things start getting out of whack. But as a world, as a country, as a world, we just have to figure out ways to do better, man, because we just need this to go right, man. Our kids need to go back to school. We need to go back to work. And COVID really has us jacked up right now. There's a lot of emotions and feelings on the board, but kudos to the NFL for trying to figure out a way to spin off and continue to, give us and their players and their families a football season.
I wanted to ask you guys something, man. This is kind of crazy, right? But we're thinking about long-term effects here and what's on the horizon, and none of us can predict anything, right? Breezy's saying, this could, the second wave could be worse because we're going to introduce a boom back into society, right? We don't quite know. But I wanted to ask you guys this. If by chance there's an NFL season and people aren't allowed in the stadium other than like the nursing staff, like, the minimal requirement people, the
essential people
and stuff like that. Yeah, the essential people. Do you think the NFL would take a step backwards or a step forward financially?
TV ratings will be all-time high, Mike. Do you have the numbers for the NFL draft ratings? I know we talked about it, but them numbers were
it was up 35%.
That's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
So as far as financially taking a step back, I mean, there still will be people not employed, like all the people that work at the stadiums and things like that. That would be a true bummer. But I mean, as far as TV ratings and those players, the TV can you imagine the contract going into the 2021 season, that's not going to jump like super high because the ratings are going to be all the way up. So this might be something that the NFL is looking forward to do to keep us safe out there.
Interesting, man. Tony, what are your thoughts on all that, man? Oh, sorry, Nick. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Tony.
I think maybe the teams will feel the effect as far as like ticket sales and stuff like that, with people not being able to go into the stadiums. People are locked into season tickets, but they're not going to be paying if they're not allowed in. So I think that's where, not specifically the NFL per se, the team as an individual would probably feel it the most. But the NFL is going to make a shit ton of money because it's all televised now. So,
yeah, I mean they'll obviously lose money, right? And I think I've seen a tweet before saying that they'll lose $1 million basically, right? And it was from one of the NFL executives, and I can't exactly remember who it is, but the owner's saying they would lose close to $1 million, per week that they don't play, right? So, but you got to look at it this way too. I mean, there's a lot going on right now too with deaths and things like that with the coronavirus. A lot of them are, no matter what it is, there's no autopsies being done and everything's being labeled COVID right now. So, whether it's a heart attack or whatever. So, the numbers are definitely going to go up. Right. And even if you go, and there's an interesting question in the chat as well that I want to get on once we're done this, but is, does the season start without preseason? And if some different jurisdictions, like we talked about this the other night, Wayne, is, Santa Clara already said there's not going to be a football game played at home until November. Mm-hmm. So how does this work?
Sports till November. Yeah, you're right.
Right. So how does this work? Baseball is trying to go back to Arizona and have everybody play in Arizona right now. And, baseball players are like, look, Mike Trout was like, look, my wife's in her third trimester and I'm not going just to stay in Arizona for 3 straight months and not be able to come home. So there's a lot of players talking up. So it'll really depend on how the league goes and makes that decision. And it'll be really interesting to see how it goes as well.
One thing I don't think that we have to worry about, I think it's pros and cons. Like Breezy said, the ratings are going to be higher than ever, right? TV contracts, which means you can charge more for advertising. The stadiums themselves, which are where the owners make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Not the league so much, but the owners. And there's a big difference between the two. It's going to be something that we're going to have to keep an eye on. I'll tell you what, man, if we can't go to games, it's going to sound bad, but I'm going to be really excited. Staying home, watching in comfort every single week, and then trying to put together never mind. I don't want to say it. I don't want to give away our secrets in case we have to get there. But I'm excited about what the opportunities present for everybody. Even the fans that want to watch. It could be a lot of fun. It could be a lot of fun. Also, I saw in the comments way up at the top when we first started the show, happy birthday to Rocco's wife. His handle in here is Jesus Christ My King. His wife's birthday is today on Nurses Day. So happy birthday to her.
Happy
Mrs.
birthday.
Rocco. Mrs. My King, I don't know what we want to call her. I have no idea what her name is, but happy birthday to her. I did see that in there, so shout out to her.
Rocco's my dude, man. Happy birthday to your wife, bro. Happy birthday to your wife. I think, we need a competition between him and Breezy for hats, bro, because they both got a ton of Niner hats and stuff. So we need a competition on that one.
Challenge, bring it on, Rocco.
Rocco had a first round, but I want round 2. When this drops and I can start wearing hats again, it's going down, bro. Is that the gold plate?
Nah, you've been saying this down for 2 years, bro. I can't wait.
You wait till my lock. Hey man, also some non-Niners news, but it's kind of close. It's right there on the precipice. Marshawn Lynch is being rumored to go back to Seattle again.
Correct.
Sign him up.
Raise your hand if you're opposed to this.
I'm not opposed to anybody trying to play football, man. I'm just not. I tell you what, though, he'll be more dangerous if there's a training camp, right? Because then he'll find a way to get into football shape. So I don't want to see his behind go back to Seattle, but ain't nothing we could do. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't mind seeing him playing again. What do you think, Tony?
And
in
He's
Seattle.
a physical dude, man. He's a physical dude, and once he gets his head rolling with a full head of steam, he's tough to bring down. You saw last year he had a couple big runs in certain games towards the end of the season when he decided to join the Seahawks. But I mean, he didn't look as explosive. That could be because he was not in shape. He always scares me, but listen, it is what it is. We got a good defense, and if they want to win, they got to come through San Francisco because we're the NFC champs.
I like that, man. I like that. I for one was not afraid of him when he was playing against us. I was happy and excited because I felt like it was a tell, and it made it easier when you saw him walk out there on the field. I do know that his very first snap against us in that game in Seattle, it was actually a play action play, but I also thought that was super scripted. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody in the building, I think Chris Collinsworth, was calling that game, and even he said this should be a play action play here because everyone's thinking that Marshawn's going to get the ball, and sure enough, like that's exactly what it was. It just made it predictable. Now, one of you guys said it. It'll be a little bit different if there's a training camp and he can get in there and really work his way in. Now he's healthy and all that stuff, and he poses a different threat. Also, is going to pose a different threat to how they use him. So I agree, but one, Marshawn is a good guy. He's a really good guy. I hate that he's a Seahawk, but he's a good guy. He's good for his community. And, if he plays for Seattle, go out there and do what you got to do. I mean, he's going to suck as a player, but he's an awesome person.
I agree.
The one thing that this says, though, if he does come back, what about their two guys that got hurt? They're not saying much about their running backs.
They also drafted a running back, Nick.
Yeah, and they drafted a running back. So you got three legitimate guys, that could come back. And then on top of Marshawn Lynch. So, that's a crowded room. But look, man, I don't really care either way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not worried about Marshawn Lynch anymore. I think he was going downhill once he decided to retire. And I just don't think he is the same guy. But you never know. But I don't care. I really don't care, to be honest with you. I don't think it makes or breaks that team. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. And I was just trying to find some 49ers related news. I couldn't, not a lot is happening right now. And so other than the tweet that you guys posted and everything, that's the kind of stuff that we're sitting here clinging to for Niners news. There's not a lot of breaking news or anything like that. And so, I was just thinking, what else affects the 49ers? Keep it in the NFC West.
Well, the good thing about one of the things that happened in Seattle is that Jadeveon Clowney said he doesn't want to play there anymore because they don't want to play him, right? So he was the one guy that.
Wait, when did he say that?
This happened today. So he was the one guy. His best game was that first game against San Francisco, and after that, it was a wrap, right?
And I won't even say that he had a good game. Oh, no, wait, let me not sound like a hater. He had a great game, but it was because he was coming against two rush back tackles.
Right.
Two guys literally coming off of multiple week injuries. That's why. So, all right. So, go ahead. I'm sorry.
He killed the defensive line that whole game. The offensive line that whole game, right? He killed both sides. You put him on Staley's side, bam. Put him on McGlinchey's side, bam. But good news is he doesn't want to be in Seattle. So, we'll see what happens with that. Of course, we have to pay attention to our competition, guys. Like we have to pay attention to Arizona, I was about to say St. Louis, excuse me, the Los Angeles Rams, and obviously Seattle. Seattle still is the only team in the division that I feel like we have to, I don't want to say worry about, but that's going to be our toughest competition. I know on paper, Arizona is the toughest competition. I get it. They're still young. They're still trying to figure stuff out. I don't care who they got on their squad. I feel like we'll have I just think that's a coach's. That's going to be a good coaching game. Like, you know what I mean? It's something about Seattle and having that Russell Wilson. He's the X factor to me out of the whole NFC West. And once you stop him, you Gucci.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear that report on Clowney. I heard a report that the Seattle Seahawks weren't going to give him. If he decided to come back, that the offer that they gave him before was off the table and it would be way less than what it was.
Okay.
But I don't know, it could just be two different reports. But that was the report that I seen was, if he still decided that he wants to come back, Seattle wasn't giving him anywhere near what they offered him before. they would go way lower than what they offered before now.
Especially since they drafted a guy, right? They drafted one of them edge rushers. Can't remember.
I know he did say that he liked Seattle and he loved all the coaches and stuff there, but Seattle said that they wouldn't give him the same offer they gave before that I heard. So something to keep your eyes peeled on that, because I think they're look, he's another one of those guys. You guys talk about Cam Newton, right? And you talk about he's one of those guys that are coming off of injury and hasn't really been able to get a physical either. He missed like pretty much the whole second half of the season with that quad injury.
Wait. He played against us. He played against us week 17.
That's when he came back.
Right.
Oh, that was his first game back? Oh, yeah. Okay.
After he played us, he was gone.
Yeah, he was out. So
wow. Remember he got hurt in our game. I don't know what they pumped him up with.
How about that? But he came back, yeah.
Yeah, because he went to the blue tent, came back out, super Rambo. And then, like Nick said, after that, he was gone, and then he came back that following, the last.
Yeah, and he barely played in that Week 17 game.
I thought he played. He just was a non-factor.
Right.
Mm-hmm. He played a lot. His ass just didn't do anything.
He was just a non-factor.
Yeah.
Like Joe Staley was back.
Right. Joe Staley was back. He was injured. It was not a good combination for them. And they tried moving him back and forth also. They tried stunting him. Nothing worked. Like, he couldn't get any kind of traction that game.
But I mean, that could be a reason why he's not signing. Obviously he wants money. He wants a lot of money, right? And I know he did come out and say that, on one of his training videos, like, just watch me, I'm gonna show you guys this is gonna be my best year, or basically same thing that OBJ kind of came out and said.
The same thing every free agent says.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, but it could be other teams are interested in him but can't give him a physical yet and see where he's at. So, we'll see. He's probably going to get the 15 to 17 million that he wants.
He's going to get it from some team, yo.
Yeah.
No, he's not, guys. Y'all are crazy.
Like, listen, once that one team gets a physical and he's A-okay, some desperate team is going to give it to him. Team with money.
He doesn't have the production for 17 million a year. He doesn't, even with an inflation in the cap.
Whether you think he doesn't, Mike, that doesn't mean other teams might feel like he can. That's how the league works, bro.
He was a first-round draft pick. They didn't pick up his fifth-year option, did they?
Not in Houston traded him.
They traded him.
That's my point. If he was good, they wouldn't let his ass walk, right?
That's not true, because DeAndre Hopkins just got traded from Houston.
Damn, I wish you didn't say that.
Come on. That you got to think of the organization over there.
Nah, you're right. I can't. I have no response for that. I can't. I don't have anything to say about that. But the Seahawks, if he was that good, they would have signed him back right away. They know the hole that he's leaving on that defense, and that defense, they're losing the veterans left and right. They need that guy there.
I think
they're like, yeah, no, go ahead, test the waters. We don't care. See it.
They probably feel he can't stay healthy,
or they feel like his production is replaceable.
Either way, there's a reason, right? But that doesn't mean that another team won't still pay him. We see guys get paid that have one good season, and then they go to another team and then suck. Like Nnamdi Asomugha, wherever his name is. Like when he came,
was difference in systems though. But
I don't care. Hey, it's whatever. You better be able to play cornerback, man, zone, play that. I'm paying you $24 million. You play the position. Figure it out. So,
all right.
Anything can happen.
We're gonna get to this schedule, man. We got about a half an hour in already.
All right, let's get to the schedule, guys. All right, so how do you guys want to do this? Because I'm not saying I have the legit schedule. I just have a copy of what has been leaked, the final leak that I've seen. Do you want me to present?
No, we don't want that. We don't want that. So I think what we should do is, all right, I have a list of the opponents that the Niners play home and away.
Okay.
All right. Let's try to figure out. Let's start with this. Let's start with which games do we think are going to be the prime time. So the NFL awards 5 at the beginning of the year, right? That's the highest number that you can get is 5. So let's try to figure out. First of all, how many games do you guys think we're going to get? So let's start with Tony. Then we'll go up to Nick, and then we'll go over to Breezy. How many games do you guys think we're going to get on prime time this year? But for flexing.
Are we counting? Is Thanksgiving Day considered a prime time?
No, not unless you're playing at night. Those
All
are
right.
so the primetime games happen at the primetime hour. So either Monday night football or Thursday night football.
I thought primetime was defined as you're the only
Yeah, well,
game
if they
on.
play Thursday night football, if they play
Yes.
Thanksgiving,
If they play Thanksgiving night, though, remember Thanksgiving got a 12 o'clock game, a 4 o'clock
4
game,
and
and then the
7:30.
Yeah. So I thought I could be wrong, but I thought that's what prime time is.
Yeah, I'm definitely saying we're getting at least 5. I definitely think we're playing Dallas on Thanksgiving. I'll go out and say like 99%. I think we're playing them on Thanksgiving. Definitely.
All right, so Tony says 5. You guys writing this down?
Are we doing opponents too?
No. Just how many primetime games do you think we're going to get first?
Oh, I think we easily get 5.
So this is going to be 5 across the board. Everybody thinks the Niners are getting 5.
I mean, you went to the NFC Championship game last year. You're going to get probably, as much.
No. Year 2 with Harbaugh, we only got 4, and we won 13 games and went to the NFC Championship game. Year 2, they only gave us 4.
Yeah, I think it comes down to the opponents that you play too, Nick. And I'm looking at our schedule.
There's not a lot of games that they're going to want to see us play against. If Tom Brady didn't leave New England, maybe that's one. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just.
I think.
And by the way, I lied. I wanted to check myself real quick too, Breezy. I said that they were up 35% from last year's draft.
Okay.
It was 37%.
It was even higher.
Yes.
Dang.
My bad. I had to pull it when I opened up the.
People don't usually correct when they lie, and it's higher. You know what I'm saying? Wow. All right. I like you guys are saying 5 though. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they get 6 primetime games.
No, but they cap it at 5 until they start flexing.
Until they flexing.
Before flex. Yeah.
Right.
All right. So yeah, I think minimum. Let me just look, man. I'm looking at these teams.
I think a sleeper one is versus Buffalo.
That was gonna be one of my games.
Don't nobody care about Buffalo.
I like the way y'all think.
Yeah, well, New England's without Brady. Buffalo was the second team in contention in the
Talk
East.
about it, Tony. There you go.
So,
but they're probably going to be.
They could be.
But I hear you.
They got a good defense.
They got pieces on offense too, Tony. I hear you, but just Buffalo.
I'm going to read this comment because he put a contribution in there. J Dog says, "Guys, can we get Tony's take on the Cam versus Dalton talk last show?" Nick said Cam is trash.
Yeah, I email Tony and he can tell you because I'm not revisiting this comment.
No. Let Tony just say if he thinks whether or not. Oh, you can tell us which quarterback you think is better. Do you think Cam is trash? And then that's it. No one else is going to respond to it. No one is going to respond to it. Okay, like that's. Then we're going to get back to the schedule.
Can I phrase as to what I said Cam is trash as a pocket quarterback?
Okay. I don't think Cam is trash. I think what happened with Cam Newton is once he got hurt with that shoulder, it screwed him all up. If you look at that year they were in the Super Bowl and you look at previous, like maybe years after the injury, you look at his throw motion, it's 2 different motions. I think that really hurt him. Comparing him versus Dalton, I think Cam as the overall is the better quarterback, but if I'm building a team, I would take Dalton.
Exactly what I was saying.
I would take Dalton.
You ain't saying nothing.
Bro, I said I would take Dalton.
No.
Hold on.
I'm sorry. No. You're right. You did say it. My bad. You also said Cam was trash, but let's leave it there and we're going to move on. Tony, you finished?
Yeah, I don't think he's trash. I think he's a good quarterback, but I really think his injury hurt him.
Can I ask you a question? I got a question. I do have a question. It's not about Cam and Dalton in particular, but you said, I think Cam is better, but I would take the other guy. Why would you take a guy you think is worse than the other guy? Forget the names attached to it. Why would you do that?
Because I think he would be a better fit in like the system that I like. Like as far as like a Kyle Shanahan system, I can't see Cam Newton running that offense.
So you're looking at him as a Niners fan, not if you're a random fan in need of a quarterback. Okay.
I'm looking at him as a pro-style offense, under center, run, hand off, turn your back towards the defense, having to turn back around and re-look at that defense and scan it, and then make your throw. Timing throws. I'm talking about discipline, like quarterback play, like footwork, perfect step, perfect footwork, and stuff like that. That's the way I'm looking at it. I don't think Cam Newton, because if you look at Cam Newton when he was in college, he ran that spread wide open thing. And it's not a knock against him. But if you're asking me, if I'm a coach, I'm going to put a quarterback that could do and play under a center where I don't think Cam could play under center. He's a shotgun quarterback. But I'm not saying he's trash. He's far from trash. But a system fit, I would do Dalton. It's not a blowaway. I just think Dalton has the ability to run a play action and turn around and reassess the defense.
Come on, why aren't you guys shitting on him like y'all shit on me?
Because I said before we started that we're not going to respond to what he was saying.
All right.
That's exactly what I said. We're going to leave it at that. And I promise you, I don't agree with everything he's saying, but I'm going to stick to it so we can get back to our regular scheduled program here. All right. So, Tony, you said 5 primetime games. Nick, you said 5 also. Breezy said 6, but we're stopping at 5. You think we get flexed in also?
Yeah, I'll go with 5. We'll just leave it at 5.
Okay. So the Niners play the following teams home and away. Oh, wait. I think that the Niners get 1, 2, 3.
Hold on. While you're thinking, what's his name just said, was Dalton ever an MVP? No, he wasn't. But can't listen. No. I'm just trying to make this straight. Cam Newton had an injury that ruined his throwing motion. Okay, he's not the same quarterback now. If he's working on it, getting through it, trying to work with a quarterback coach, a throwing coach, a pitching coach, whatever the hell you want to call him, and he can improve it, good for him. If you're asking me to take the Cam Newton prior, I would take the Cam Newton prior. Post, I would take Dalton because I just think his throw motion is atrocious right now.
And
it's not a knock against him. It could be numerous reasons. It could be the injury, it could be the coaching, it could be whatever.
And keep in mind that Cam finished the season on IR. We have no idea the condition that he's in right now. So that's what a lot of teams are also worried about. But yeah, just yep. All right. So I'm looking at the roster. I mean, the schedule up here. And I honestly, guys, I only see 4 games worthy of possibly being put on television. I only see 4. And one of them, I hate to say it, is the Cowboys, but that's only because of we know Jerry pays for primetime games. Like, he goes out of his way to get his team in there, right? So you have the Cowboys on the schedule. You have the Saints on the schedule. That was a classic game last year. When we played them in the playoffs in 2012, another classic game. People love Niners and Saints games. Our regular season from 2012, that regular season game where they called the BS hit on Brooks, on Ahmad Brooks, a classic game. The Niners they were in position to come back and win that game, but whatever. So I have those 2 teams.
Well, I thought we were doing teams. I thought we were just doing.
No. I'm giving you my reason why I only have 4.
Oh, all right.
Like I can't. You guys are saying 5 because it's the Niners. I don't see any of these teams that are worthy of putting on against us in prime time.
I do.
You guys see 5 teams.
There's 3 off the. Okay, so there's going to be 2 division ones, and then there's 3 non division ones.
No, okay, but they make the schedule. Let's agree. All right. I see what you're saying. Okay, we all think. Well, we've all discussed on here that we think the Cardinals are going to be the better team this year, right? But the NFL makes the schedule based off of what your team did the previous season. As far as primetime slots go, you have a good record, you're going to get more primetime slots. You get what I'm saying? So as much as we respect the schedule, what are the 2 teams that you think that the NFL wants to see on primetime in our division?
I think it's going to be Seattle and the projected Arizona Cardinals, because they're a trend up, just like the Rams. Like, they're a trend up, right? So, like, the fact that the league or the people are loving the Cardinals because they just seem to be trending up. They just traded for an all-star, All-Pro Bowl wide receiver. They got this second-year phenom, Heisman winning trophy quarterback. They're just, and Kingsbury, like the league. He's a young guy. Like young guys get the prime time, man. This is how it's working. Young guys are getting that thing. So because they're trending upwards, I think that's what people are going to want to see, and I think that's why they get a slot on the with us on prime time, like a Thursday night game.
I will come back and visit that, I promise. And normally, like most of the Thursday night games are divisional games. Most of them. There are rare occasions where they're not. I think the season started last year, the year before. It was like the Steelers and Patriots or something like that, right? Wasn't it like a two AFC?
I think they're all division games, like you said. I think they are.
They do throw in some off ones, is what I'm saying, but they're usually all division games. So okay, I mean, but I still I can't find 5 opponents worthy of putting in prime time, especially because if you want prime time, in my opinion, you want to get the best of both sides of the country. You know what I'm saying? Like that San Francisco and Seattle, we have a huge fan base, but it's a small nook. When you do San Francisco and New Orleans, you know, it's both sides of the country. Like, all right, we're going to be watching and we're going to tune into this one. So, but let's talk about it. What teams do you guys think are going to be in here? I can, to give my final answer, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I found 4.
Yeah, finding that fifth one is it could be a stretch, but as the guys were talking about it earlier, it could be that specific team, Nick and Tony were talking about, and I can see East Coast, West Coast, worldwide. Like that will be a huge dichotomy of getting fans to watch from cold ass Buffalo to warm ass San Francisco. Like that's just gonna be. I think that's gonna be a primetime game, and a Monday night game at that.
I definitely think.
Go ahead, Tony.
I definitely think they're going to play the opening Monday night, the second of the doubleheader, as a home game versus whoever.
Right. So it might be Miami, it might be Buffalo. Like whoever's coming to us is going to be on prime time.
However they schedule it, however the schedule breaks, I definitely think they're going to be that West team that plays the 10:30 game or the 10 o'clock game on that first Monday night. There's the 7:30 and then the 10 o'clock or the 10:30.
So you're going to eliminate an East Coast team for that possibility, Tony? Is that what you're saying?
What do you mean?
So
I'm not eliminating nobody. I'm just saying whoever that first week 1, I think they're going to be the second game on Monday Night Football.
We only play 2 teams from the West Coast. Well, 3. We play 3 teams in the same time zone. Well, Arizona's not even in the same time zone. Technically, they're an hour ahead. But
the Rams and the Seahawks.
That's it.
Right.
Because if you're telling me it's going to be a team like the Patriots, that's a 3-hour time difference. Their clocks are, their bodies are like time for bed. It's 10:30 when they're kicking off. Will the NFL when we did it before, it was the Chargers and who? We did it twice. It was 2 years in a row.
1 year was the Chargers, 1 year was the Vikings.
The Vikings were the second Monday night game?
Yes.
But they're from the Central time zone, so they're only an hour behind, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it can happen. You get what I'm saying? Because
it all depends on how that schedule falls. Once they drop that schedule, everything will be like pretty much. You'll see it. Like,
we also played the Packers last year on prime time.
Tony said it's all about how they drop the schedule. That's what we're trying to predict. Like,
I'm just saying, like, you know, if it's week 1, we play Miami at home. That's going to be, I think, in my opinion, the 10:30 slotted game because they don't have a game before, so they can fly out days before. Prep themselves, get themselves acclimated to the time difference. Yeah. So it's not like you're coming off of a week and then have to go boom 10:30 and then fly back east. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you now.
It's possible though, Tony, because I mean last year we was east and we had to stay east. Like you know what I'm saying? But
yeah, so like listen, that could start their West Coast trip.
Mm-hmm.
They can go to LA, they can go to Seattle, they can go to Arizona because they're playing the NFC West. So that's the way they could maybe line it up.
Yeah, I think the NFL is doing something kind of tricky, like the schedule They're trying to put the NFC West playing the AFC East like earlier in the season schedule, which is weird. So you might see weeks 1 through 4, and those games somehow might happen within the first few weeks. I don't know how they're doing it. That's what's rumored out right now. So we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah.
But that so to get back to what they were saying, I can see Buffalo being a primetime game because of the two teams, and they finish with good records. But it could just be a easy duck, and it could be freaking the Dolphins coming out east, coming out west. So we don't know. But Green Bay, right? I think that's going to be a Sunday night game. I think that will be a Sunday night game. I think the Saints. It's funny that we say the Saints as a primetime game, and we rarely play the Saints in primetime. We always play them at 4 effing o'clock.
You know why?
I'm asking. No, I don't.
I think it's because they're two teams that naturally draw big viewing numbers without it being in prime time.
So they have to fill that market at that number. That's crazy, yo.
But you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that makes sense.
It's still one of the highest viewed teams of the week without it ever being in prime time, and that's why you have two teams that are hot, like just going at it, and that they take advantage of it.
And it's usually a shootout, right? It's usually always comes down to the last play. I just think about all the times we play the Saints, whether it's in regular season or in the playoffs, it comes down to all right, who's gonna get the ball and who's gonna make that play, at the end. The only time the Saints are in prime time with the 49ers is during the playoffs. Like I don't think I've ever seen, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I mean, I don't remember recalling like recent, like past 10 years seeing us play the Saints in primetime football.
I went to a bar in Jersey and I watched a game. I feel like it was no, it might have been during the day. I'm gonna shut up. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Nick, you've been too quiet over there, man. What's up?
I keep trying to talk and then everybody starts talking, so I'm just chilling. My 5 would probably be, I agree with Wayne, Buffalo, Green Bay, Seattle, Arizona, and I'm going to either go with the Eagles or the Saints as one of those. And most likely the Saints because of last year's game.
Okay.
So Buffalo, Saints, Arizona, who?
Buffalo, Green Bay, Saints, or Arizona and Seattle.
Yeah.
So you don't have the Cowboys as a primetime game.
2, 3. Well, no, I only gave you 4. 1, 2, 4. Yeah, and then Cowboys.
Oh, okay.
I said it's a toss-up between the Eagles and the Saints, I would say.
Right.
So Buffalo, Green Bay, Arizona, Seattle, Dallas, Buffalo, Arizona, Seattle, Dallas, and then a toss-up between Philly and New Orleans.
Okay. All right.
I would love for us to play on Thanksgiving again, though.
This is all pre-flex. I thought we should have played on Thanksgiving last year, but no one. That was with me thinking we were going to go 13-3. The league had no idea at the beginning of the season. That's what makes this hard. The league doesn't anticipate teams improving like that. They specifically look at what they did the previous year. We had 4 wins last year, or the year before, I should say. And so it's like, why would we waste time putting them on prime time?
But the year that Jimmy Garoppolo came in, the beginning of his very first year as a Niner, we had 5 primetime games.
Because we won 5 in a row, and they were like, yeah, they're barely going to lose, which is probably right? We look at his track record.
But we only had 6 games, So that's why I think I agree with Wayne on Arizona, because Arizona stretched down the end, and they always played us tough, and their stretch was just getting better and better. Like, they were close to making the playoffs because of the Rams. So, it's just weird, man. It's going to be weird.
Okay. Now let's try to start ironing some stuff out here. Now I want to ask you guys some questions because I don't have the answers in front of me. I'm not sure. Is this the year that 7 teams make the playoffs?
No. I think that starts next season, right?
No, I just saw a report that it starts this year.
And this is why I don't know. I see both consistently, so I don't know the answer.
So it
And
could be
that's-
that I just get it mixed up. Is either this is the year for that and not the year for the. I thought this was the year for the extra players, and then next year they were starting to.
I think it's all this year, to be honest with you.
No,
because the less preseason game and the extra games aren't this year. That's next year.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I think the playoffs and the extra player are this year.
And the extra game is in
the extra game is in 2021.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Because the schedule was already starting to be worked on and stuff. So now
Okay.
Yeah, so next year is the 17 games. This year is the extra roster spots and the only a number 1 seed, not a number 2 seed. And then 7 teams making the playoffs.
It's gonna be a battle mother freaking royal this year, bro. There's only gonna be wow. So out of the whole NFC, the best team has the 1 seed and everybody else has to play. It's gonna be great. That's gonna be motherfucking bananas.
Correct.
And I know we talked about this before, but this is gonna like the management of players, the fact that they have to win games. They can't have sit players and rest players. I mean, unless they're like 15-1 or 16 or whatever. Like they just this is gonna be crazy, guys. War of attrition.
I'm gonna change my pick. I am gonna say I found 5 teams now. Because the Rams, had there been 7 teams making the playoffs last year, would have made it. So now I think they give us the Rams also. I'm looking at it. I just looked it up. They said 2020-2021 is the start of the 14 teams in the playoffs. So if that's the case, the Rams would have been a playoff team last year. So I think that's one of the matchups there. I think they put one of those games in prime time then.
Yeah. I remember hearing the report that exactly what you were talking about. The Rams would have made the playoffs, and somebody said they think that 3 teams, or possibly the whole entire NFC West, can make the playoffs this year because of the way that the scheduling is going with the additional.
No, because there's only. Oh shoot, that's right. It's 3 wild card teams now.
Yeah.
3 wild cards, one seed.
I don't like this.
So that means
if the Niners win the West, you can literally fill 6 other teams then.
You mean if the Niners win, it doesn't even matter whether they win the West or not, right?
Right. Because everybody's playing week 1. Everything's wild card weekend.
Right. Everybody's playing not to be
unless they're the number 1 seed.
But right. But everybody's playing to not be a number 1. This is where it gets tricky because like you said, like then where did the divisions go? The West, the Central, the North, the East, the South, whatever you want to call it. Like where do all the divisions go?
It's just for seeding purposes.
Okay.
That's pretty much what it's going to boil down to. Is it's going to be your seeding, as in if you're not you don't win overall and get the number 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else, the seeding is just going to fall in place as go by records.
So there's not even a point in having divisions at this point.
I disagree because if we go 13-3 and Green Bay goes 13-3, but we beat Green Bay,
right? So it doesn't matter the division because your head-to-head schedule, you win the tiebreaker.
Right. I guess you're right. Right.
Like once you start including all the tiebreakers, the division doesn't even matter anymore. That's.
Well, maybe that's what they want because they want to shift this to that BCS championship type mode thing. That's what we're going. That's where we're going to. Think about it.
Yeah, I mean, dude. You're gonna have the thing that bothers me is you can have another 5-11 team make the playoffs, like and you're gonna be playing. Yeah, you may get in for wild card weekend, but you're still wild card weekend. You're basically every team is going to be on. So you're going to be playing a number 2 seed, and you're 5-11. Like, and then how do you determine
what's crazy?
This is what I want to know real quick, Mike, before you get going is how are they going to determine the home games?
Right.
Then it'll come down to your wins.
your record.
It'll come down to wins, points, strength of schedule.
Yeah, like all of those things. Start with the record first, and then if the records are tied, then points, and then point strength of schedule. That's when that stuff will get factored in. It has to be.
Remember Mike Singletary's year? The Niners finished 7-9, but we lost that very last week. And if we had have won, we could have been a wild card team.
Mm-hmm.
You guys remember that year? That was a year it was either 7-9 or 6-10. But we missed the playoffs by one game that year. That means that we would have made the playoffs with that bum ass record of 6-10 or 7-9.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you look at the year that the first year Kyle came in and they traded for Jimmy Garoppolo, they won 5 straight going at the end. I would not want to face that team. I don't give a shit if I'm a 2, 3, 4. I wouldn't want to face that team. 5 straight coming into the playoffs with a full head of steam, and there you are. Oh, we're the 2 seed.
Yeah, like I don't understand what's so wrong. Not wrong, but who cares if they 5-11? I mean, if they're 5-11 and I would want to whip their tail, right? Like if they make it, then that's going to be a scary 5-11 team in the playoffs. And like Tony said, if a team is winning 5 straight and they got a full gas, listen, I always go back to that year the Giants beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, bro. They should not have made the playoffs. They shouldn't have made anything, but they just went on a crazy run at the end of the season. Their defense was ridiculous. They had crazy rotation, and they just couldn't lose. They went on the road and won the Super Bowl on the road. Like,
and it was crazy because that year, every single team that they beat in the postseason, they lost to
in the regular season.
Including the Patriots, every single team had beat them in the regular season. That is incredible.
So, like Tony said, it could be scary, and you just I just like the fact that everybody has to go out each and every Sunday with their Sunday's best. You know what I'm saying? And the competition is going to breed competition. So this is probably why the draft. This probably explains the draft a little bit more to people that don't understand why we didn't draft, this player over this player and blah 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 blah. There was a tweet that went out or a story or article that went out today saying, man, Kyle Shanahan has Debo and Brandon Ayuk. Like, oh my gosh, it's going to be scary for teams to face those two guys. Like, it's probably a reason why they decided to draft for their team, fit for their team, opposed to getting that superstar stud player or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Because the 49ers are trying to continue to just be number one, point blank period. They know what it feels like. They've tasted it. They got to a Super Bowl. They lost. There's a bitter taste in their mouth. And I think they're just going to keep continuing to just add to that fire, like to keep that sustaining, for years to come.
Yeah. So last year, if it was this playoff format, right, the Rams would have got in the NFC, and the Steelers would have got in the AFC, right? Yep. But here's the changes. The 2 seed would play the
last seed.
The
7th seed. Yep.
So that means that the Packers would have played the Rams. Honestly, I don't know if the Packers even make it past the Rams. Those 2 teams match up really well against each other. Like really, really well against each other. You would have had the Saints playing the Vikings.
Yeah.
And you would have had the Eagles playing the Seahawks. It changes everything, bro.
Well, the Eagles did play the Seahawks.
Well, yeah. That's why I was like, well, yeah. But like the Rams playing against the Packers, that number 2 seed means nothing anymore. This is do y'all like this? Be honest. Like, y'all think this is cool?
I think it's crazy because, like, look at the NFC East last year, right? And I know they weren't. What were their final records? 7-9. What were they?
I don't know, man.
9-7. 9-7 won their division. Cowboys were 8-8.
Who won the division? The Eagles?
Yeah, the Eagles won the division at 9-7. Cowboys were second in the division with 8-8. Then you had the Giants at 4-12, and then Washington at 3-17.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just don't like it because you can. It depends. Like, you got like what were the lowest records last year
Who has the first pick this year?
Bengals had 2 wins, and then right above them was 5 wins.
No, I'm saying in division games. Like,
all right, so Bengals had the lowest division in the AFC East. In the AFC North was Miami. In what the hell? Oh, that's right.
Bengals.
In
Bengals
the
are
AFC
AFC
West.
North.
The
Bengals are the AFC North. And
AFC North was the Bengals. AFC East was Miami. AFC West was the Chargers.
The Chargers had the worst record. They were worse than the Raiders.
They were 5-11. Raiders had 7 wins last year.
so who won that division?
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs won that division, right? So now look, this is where I said the 5-11, right? Because you look at the Chiefs get the number 1 seed in the AFC.
They had the best record, right?
And the next 2 division winners, they could literally sneak into the playoffs at 5-11.
But who had the best record in the AFC that year?
The Chiefs.
No,
nah.
the Ravens.
The Ravens did.
Oh, the Ravens. That's right, the Ravens.
So the Ravens had that number 1 seed. The Chiefs would have been playing the worst of the 7, which might have been a team in their division. That's why I like this joint, yo. The division games be tough.
Well, that's why people were saying that the NFC West could quietly sneak every team in the playoffs this year.
Because it's the best division in football.
Right.
Hey,
imagine all 4 going to the Super Bowl.
This is stupid. This is crazy. Oh, look at how. All right. We're getting sidetracked. All right, let's get back to the schedule thing. I don't know if I like this. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I like all these teams. There's 32 teams and 14 make the playoffs. It's just under half. 40% of the teams make the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's crazy to me. Like, you don't even have to just aim for 8-8, and you're likely to get in. That's criminal to me. You're watering down the. I don't know, man.
But see, I disagree with that though, Mike, because teams know winning on the road isn't easy. So I don't think the majority of the teams are going to try to aim for 8-8. I mean, I think everyone's going to try to be that team to get that number 1 seed. Now, I know that can't happen numerically, right? It can't happen. But I think because of that, you're going to get the best 7 teams for each conference. I think that's what you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you end up getting an 8, I don't think that the team is going to say, guys, we just need to finish 8-8 and we have a chance to sneak in. Maybe there is. I'm hoping that's not how it plays out. I'm thinking that teams are going to say, yo, we're preparing for glory. We're going to anticipate pain, and we're going to try to win all 16 of these games. All right? We're going to go out there. That's the mindset we want, because there's only one team that's going to get a bye in the playoffs now. Woo, that's crazy. Oh, shoot. It's going to be different.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine being the Saints, or even the Chiefs last year. 13 wins. You don't get a bye. Okay, cool. Week 17, y'all played, y'all hurt. You're not getting that week off. Get your ass out there and play the 8 seed. I'm kidding. It's the 7 seed, but still, I don't know, man. That's weird. That is weird. That is weird. That makes bad teams more dangerous. And I'm gonna tell you why. We got nothing to lose. We're gonna go out here and Hail Mary it the whole time. Let's just see what happens. See if they can stop. That's how the Chiefs won all their games. Every single game they were down multiple scores, and finally they were like, "Hey, go out there and just play backyard football. Start airing it out and see what happens." They came. What were they down? Like 21 points or something like that to the Texans. They were like, "Yeah, just start airing it out. Just let it go. Just see what happens." And it started winding the opposing defense, and they were like, "All right, we got you now. Now our speed takes over." It's like it changes a lot. You just got to have a good team, man. Defense is now going to make its way back.
When we say before, every game counts. This year, every game counts.
That's yeah.
Like, there is no like, oh shit, we dropped one here, we need to get next week. Like, every single game is going to count in the end.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just boosting up TV on Wild Card Weekend, because it's going to be a full day of football. You're making more money. NFL is making more money. And then obviously tickets that are being sold, people are going to be making more money. So, but every single game matters. Like when we dropped that Atlanta game last year, right? Like that game is like, could go this year, as in where it can screw us
Right,
completely.
because imagine if we didn't have that tiebreaker against the Saints and we both finished 13 and 13, 13
See
and
what
3.
I'm saying?
Right.
I
So
guess.
then now you become that 2 seed, and possibly, so really winning the division will guarantee you a spot in the playoffs. That's your 4, right? But obviously you want to finish with the best record. But that's where I said that, 5-11, 6-10, those teams can sneak in depending on how the other teams do in the divisions.
If the league ever lets a 5-11 team win, get in the playoffs, they're going to redo the format the following year. They're never going to allow that to happen.
Didn't we have a 6-10 team win?
I've never seen a 6. The worst I've ever seen was a 7-9.
That was Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle got in.
What was the Giants' record when they won the Super Bowl? They like
7-9.
They had like 9-7. The
Or
Giants
not,
were 9-7. They were never 7-9. I can pull it up really quick, but let me look it up real quick because.
Well, what year did they go to the Super Bowl? 2008, was it?
Giants playoff record. All right, so that's not it. They just showed me the Giants from last year. All right, I'll pull it up. I'll find it really quick though. But I'm sure they were 9. I think they had 9 wins one year, and I think they might have been 9-10.
I think
They were
they did.
7-9.
They were 7-9. I told you. I ain't crazy.
They weren't 7-9, bro. The Giants weren't 7-9 when they made the playoffs.
I think they finished with more than 7 wins because of the
Yeah.
playoff wins.
They weren't 7-9.
All right. You're probably right. Hold on.
I got to find what year it was. They beat us in 2012, right? That
Yeah,
was
it's a Kyle
2012.
Williams thing.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So they were 9-7 in 2012. I have that right here. They were
Okay.
3-3 in their division. They were 9-7. What was the other year that they did it?
The other year they did, I think they were 9-7 as well. That would be 3 years later, right?
2015.
60. Like they went. I can't remember when they played. Giants versus Patriots.
Nah, because they were 3rd in the NFC that year. Let me see. Was it earlier or before that? 2007, right? Let me see.
It was 2008, I think they won.
That was the last one, and now we're talking about the other one. Got you. We're talking about the one prior.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was reading something.
2008 was that year of that Super Bowl. So find that record.
Okay, here we go. Oh,
They were 12-4 in 2008.
12-4 in 2000. There you go. So they definitely weren't 7-9. The only 7-9 team that I remember watching win a game was that Seattle sneaking in at 7-9. The year that I said the Niners almost won that division. Remember?
Yep.
I said it was that year that that was the year that Mike Singletary guaranteed victory, and they went into New Orleans. That was the Beastquake game. They actually won a playoff game. That was the Beastquake game with Hasselbeck was their quarterback, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh shit, Matt Hasselbeck.
Yeah, that was that year. But I've never seen any. I've never seen a 6 or even a 5-win team get close to getting into the playoffs. So, yeah. All right, let's keep it moving, fellas. Are we gonna try to predict week by week here? Because there's a million different possibilities. Well, there's not a million, but there's probably like 1,000.
That's way too hard.
The Giants were 10-6. I'm sorry to go back. The year they won that Super Bowl.
So 10-6 and 9-7 those 2 years.
That's what they were.
Which is, I mean, I've seen.
But what happened was they ended up going on a crazy win streak, like one of those hot streaks at the end of the season, like Tony said. And yeah. All right. So go ahead. I'm sorry, Tony.
No, that's all right. I just think it's way too hard to try to figure out the schedule. It's definitely like
I thought we were just figuring out primetime games.
Yeah, that's what.
All right, so here we go. So let's get to it, and then we can wrap this thing up. Then, all right. So now let's all go through and give us the opponents that we think are going to be the teams that we play in primetime.
Okay. So we're gonna try to guess the opponents and the game, like the night.
You know what? Yes. Yeah. I think we can come up with some logic behind that, actually. So yeah, let's do it that way. Let's start with Tony because he's been the most quiet, and then we'll go to Nick. He's been the second most quiet. I've been running my mouth the whole time, so I apologize.
I think we play Dallas on Thanksgiving night, so that's one. We have, I think we're the second game on the Monday night doubleheader to open the week. I don't know who. It's either Buffalo or Miami. Or shit, this is hard, man.
You said okay. You said week 1, the second Sunday night game.
The second Monday night game.
Oh, Monday night. By the way, while you're looking at your next one, let me ask the other guys here. How far into the season do they do 2 Monday night games? I don't remember that happening often.
They do it every year.
They do it to open
week
week.
1. The opening week
just
is
the week 1 thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was gonna say because I don't remember that happening often after that, if ever. So, okay.
Shit. So Dallas, New Orleans, Green Bay.
And they officially said that there's going to be no overseas games this year, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that's done.
The international games are done.
Because the Niners were rumored to play which
Arizona and Mexico.
Cardinals in Mexico. Right? Yeah.
Which would have been a primetime game, probably.
I think Arizona gets a primetime game versus the Niners for some reason. Because they gave it to them last year, I think, on Halloween night, which was a Thursday.
Night, yep.
Nick's boy. This is when it happened.
Dante Pettis.
Yeah, man.
I guess those are my 5. I don't know. It's so hard. We could sit here, they're gonna release the schedule. We're gonna be like, what the hell were we thinking?
No, well, that's why it's just fun, man. We're not holding anybody accountable for this one.
My question is, what week do you think you're gonna get the bye?
I think it's gonna be later. I think it's gonna be probably like week 9 this year. We had it week 4 last year, right?
Yeah, they screwed us with that.
I think it's gonna be week 9.
Oh, that's what I wanted to do. Ask y'all when you thought we were gonna get the bye. So good job, Tony. Work that in there too.
I think we get a break and we get the bye. Let's see, 16, 7. I'll say a late bye. I think they give us a late bye. Probably maybe week 10, maybe week 8.
You just skipped my week 9, but I got you.
You're gonna say week 9? I was going with odd. I was going with even numbers.
I got you,
either
bro.
10 or 8.
I didn't know what your logic was. I'm like, damn, just say 9. I got you.
No, I don't.
Week 9 is ideal because that's right in the middle of the season.
Yeah,
that's what everybody aims for, right? So
it's either gonna be one above or one below.
Okay.
Because when's the final bye week?
12, right?
Week 9 is the final bye week?
No, I think week 12 is the last bye week, I think.
Yeah. It's 4 games on each side. You have to play 4 weeks, or no, you can have a bye in the 4th week, and you can have a bye in the 17, 16, 15, and the 14th
12.
week.
So you got 3 the 14th week. So week 14 is the last bye.
Right?
No, that was week 12. It's week 12.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought it was 14. My bad.
I think 12 is the last bye.
I thought it was 1, 2, 3 bye, and then 3, 2, 1 bye. So my bad. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think it starts, like you said, week 4, which is what we had this past year, and then ends week 12. I believe that's what.
Cowboys made it all the way to the Super Bowl, playing what was it, 12
straight games, bro?
No, 15, 14.
Well, if you count the playoffs,
straight games. Right? Once you include the playoffs, them boys was hungry, man. Oh, I love this.
Can you imagine if they had like a bye?
Give us one more towards the end, right? Like,
I mean, we technically did because we had won the division and won the NFC, so we did have that bye. But man, if we would have had that later bye for those guys to just get a little bit healthier, jeez.
All right, I like it. All right, Tony. So did you end up picking all your matchups?
Yeah, I went with Dallas. I went with New Orleans, Green Bay. So that's 3. I think Seattle's 4. And maybe screw it, I'll throw Arizona in there.
Okay. All right. Nick, what you got for us, big dog?
We're doing the first. How many?
You
We're going to
picking
try to
5?
figure out the prime game
prime
and what week
game.
we're going to have a bye. We're going to try to predict it.
Okay, well, so I'm giving you a night that the primetime games are on.
You can if you want. If you have a logic behind it, yeah.
Well, I was just saying I gave the 5 primetime games already. Bye week, I'm gonna go with. I think I agree with Wayne on this. Is week 9.
Okay. All right, Breezy.
All right, so I think we got one. I think the week 1 will be a primetime game. So depending on if we're playing one of those East Coast teams, it could be the Jets, it could be the Dolphins, the Bills, and we know we're playing the Patriots. I think we're playing the Patriots and the Jets at home, so it can't be those 2 guys. So it's gonna either be the Dolphins or the Bills.
No, we don't play the Jets at home. The Jets are East Coast game this year.
No, that's what I mean. We play them at their home, right? So
I'm sorry.
So the Patriots and the Jets we play on the road, and then at home we have Miami and the other team, Buffalo. All right, so I got one of those East Coast teams as my week 1, which would be that Monday nighter. Usually the West Coast team gets the 10-15 game, which I'll be tired as hell going into work watch the next day. I don't know if New Orleans is that game, because I just don't ever remember it being a primetime game. So I might have to go with 4 teams.
I think the last time we played the Saints as a primetime was 2012.
Postseason.
Yeah, because even that is that the year of Ahmad Brooks, but that wasn't a night game.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That was a 4:00 game.
Only postseason.
I could be wrong. Anyway, I don't think New Orleans is it. I think Green Bay will be a Sunday night game. I think we'll have 2 Sunday night games. Green Bay and Seattle. Those will be our 2 Sunday night games. Sunday night football games. Green Bay and Seattle. All right. Okay. And then I think I got Arizona as a Thursday night game. I think Arizona will be a Thursday night game. So that's 4 that I said so far. I want to pick Dallas as that primetime game, but I think that they play during the day, man. I think they play at 4:00, and then Thursday night football kicks off after that. So I'm only going with 4. My bye comes in at week 9.
That's what I said. Now you know how I was thinking, bro. That's why I was like, I only see 4. That's what I'm saying. Now, let me ask y'all. Now, during this exercise, were you guys including flexed games?
No, I didn't do anything flexed.
Nick, when you gave your numbers, were you including anything being flexed?
No, I just gave you the straight 5.
What about you, Tony?
No.
All right. So this is how I'm going to do it. Since nobody included flex in that part, I'm going to try to include flex and change it. I think we are scheduled for 4 primetime games, and I actually have it figured out. I don't think the Niners get the second Monday night game because it's a huge unfair advantage. Team coming out of the Super Bowl, which usually means they're better than 30 other teams in the NFL, right? It's an unfair advantage for anybody playing that late against the team that just came from the Super Bowl. I don't think we're going to get that. However, I think we get a Sunday night game against Seattle. I think the league loves that. Okay. I think we get a Thursday night game against the Rams. I think Arizona is our week 17 opponent, and their playoff spot could be on the line. So that gets flexed into primetime. So that gives me 3. Okay. I think that's 3. Is that all 3 division games that I just did?
You said Arizona is going to be week 17?
Yeah. We've been doing week 17 against the Seahawks for a while. I think that's over. It was the Seahawks and the Rams. I think now they're going to change it and give it to the Cardinals.
Okay, I got you.
And I think the Cardinals playoffs are going to be riding on that game. And so that's going to get flexed in at the end, week 17. I think that's going to be the last game of the season. That leaves us with the Cowboys. I will give that a Thanksgiving Day. No, I don't want to do that. No, because they're going to put
They always play Thanksgiving Day, bro.
Yeah, the Cowboys and the Lions always play on Thanksgiving, it seems like. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. So I have Seahawks Sunday night. I have Rams as a prime time. I'm going to say maybe Monday night for the Rams, maybe. I'm going to say Arizona gets flexed to a Sunday night game. That's 3. Because I'm looking at it from, you're going to get a Thursday night game and you're going to get a game that they think is going to be good in the division. And I think that the NFL people could be looking at the Rams as having a bounce back season.
That's why I think they get a different night. If you give it to the Rams, I think they get like I think they get either a Monday night or a Sunday night.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So Sunday or Monday for the Rams, right? Seahawks for a Sunday or a Monday also, because it's always a close, hard-fought game no matter who wins that game. And then I think Arizona gets flexed for one. Damn, that's 3 division opponents,
games, which
right?
Is, yeah.
So now I got to look at who are they going to give us prime time that are not it. I'm going to go with the Saints because they're a good team, and we have not played them in prime time, and the league seems to regret it. It's always one of the replays, one of the earliest replays.
Well, if you remember, they tried to flex us last year, but ended up keeping the Rams in there.
And it was because we had reached some kind of quota or something like that, right? Or was it the Packers that did it?
We did get one game flex last year, I think.
The Packers game. That was the one I went to. It was supposed to be a regular during the day Sunday game in November.
Then they made it a Sunday night game.
Right, and they moved it to the night game, right.
They were going to make the Rams or the Saints game the same way, but for some reason they kept the Rams playing.
Right. So I think that they give us the Saints this year also, but it's not going to be a flex. I think they're going to give it to us. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything in me wants to say the Packers and the Cowboys also. But does anybody expect us to lose to the Packers? Like, it has to be a game that the league thinks is going to be a good game. The Packers have not been competition for the Niners.
I seen Dre said earlier, he said he thinks that both Seattle games are going to be primetime games.
Only way I can see that happening is if we get flexed at the end of the season. And
weren't they both primetime last year?
No, neither one was.
Yeah, one was at night.
Yeah, one was a night game.
The week 17 game was that night.
Oh, right. It was flexed. That was the one that was flexed. But before that, it wasn't it.
But the other one was primetime too, wasn't it?
No.
I think it was the 425 game of the week. So it might have been televised.
Right. It was the Fox televised game of the week or
okay.
Game of the week type of thing.
Okay. I thought both were Sunday night football games, so I could
I think you're right, Wayne.
Well, I think the second one was flexing to Sunday night, but I thought the first one was a Sunday night game because I remember watching it at somewhere and being mad as hell when the rookie missed that kick.
Let's see what the chat says.
Yeah, I believe it was
Monday night. I think it was Monday night football. Yep. Or Sunday, I don't know. Y'all make up your God blessed mind. It was one of the nights. I think it was one of them primetime nights. But I remember
Patriots won't get it because they know Tom Brady.
There's no more Tom Brady, guys.
Giants won't.
I don't think the Giants will get it yet because they just haven't proven they're not the team of the NFC East yet.
They're going to give us 3 home games. Okay, that's how I'm going to do this. They're going to give us 3 home games. They're definitely going to give us 3 home games. Cardinals is 1.
All right, so the first 49ers Seahawks game was 8:20, Sunday, December 29th.
Told you. I remember going to bed crying.
The second game was Monday night game at 8:15.
Yep, I remember going.
The last game of the season.
So they were both prime time last year. One was flexed in and one was already a prime time game.
I remember going to bed crying, yo.
Right, but that was because it was week 17.
No.
I went week 17 opponent.
I went to bed crying that first game.
Right, no. I get what you're saying, but I'm saying that the second one wasn't supposed to be prime time, and that was the one that they said, all right, this is going to end it for the
season.
Yeah, it was for the division.
Yeah, it was for the division. It was also for the number 1 seed.
Right, and they flexed it.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. I don't think that's the case this year. I don't think because the year before that, week 17 was the Rams. Now I think it's time for the Cardinals to be our week 17 matchup.
The flexes are going to be freaking weird this year because of the 7 teams per division.
Exactly.
So
So my 3 home games that I think we're going to be prime time are going to be Seattle, Rams, and Cardinals. I'm not going to do the whole Buffalo or Miami thing. I know what you guys are saying about week 1. I just don't think that's fair to do it against any opponent. And then as far as the away games, I'm going to say Cowboys and Saints. Yeah, that's going to be my 5. Those are my 5. Final
Hey,
answer.
you know what we should have checked? And I know we all picked our teams, but if I'm not mistaken, usually the Super Bowl teams play like they want to see those teams play first, like when the season starts.
Usually one of them starts the season. Yeah, whether you win or lose, one of them starts. The Thursday night game. Yeah, but put the Chiefs out there. I don't want it. I don't want a Thursday.
That's why I think we get the Monday game. But all right, which is going to be your bye, bro?
I'm gonna say a bye in week 10.
You and Tony with these even effing numbers. Us, me and Nick will be odd.
Oh no, wait, Tony. Oh, that's right. Tony did say
Tony went week 8. You went week 10. And
I'm gonna change it up then. No, I don't.
No, you went 10. He went 8.
No, I'm taking it back. I'm getting a mulligan.
You a re-Nick. I can't say that word.
I'm gonna go with week 7. I'm gonna go with week 7 instead.
So all odds except for Tony's and even at 8.
And Tony doubled up on the evens. He evened the score.
He went 8 and 10.
All right, so let me ask you guys this question. You guys think the Niners get the number 1 seed? Because officially, only 2 teams in the entire NFL will get 2 bye weeks. Only 2.
It's gonna be crazy, bro.
What's
good, Kev?
Silverado, what up, big dog?
I mean, I have faith that we can get the number 1 seed again this year, but I think it's going to be a lot harder than it was last year. And last year was hard.
You guys think this schedule is harder than last year's schedule?
Still the 4th hardest schedule.
Hardest schedule, man.
I didn't ask that. I know how it ranks based off of paperwork. I'm saying, do y'all think this schedule is harder than last year? Eagles, all right. How about
I definitely think this schedule is harder than last year.
Yeah, we got the NFC.
We don't play the Bucks. We don't play the Bengals. The Steelers were horrible. The Browns were horrible.
We got the NFC East and the
Redskins were horrible.
My man said the Steelers were horrible. They finished 8-8. That's not
when
a hard.
They didn't have a quarterback. It's still a lot easier to beat a team without their starting quarterback.
We almost lost that game.
What?
That was an easy game. That wasn't an easy game.
I didn't say it was an easy game.
Right. So what I'm saying is,
if you look at the records we played last year, right? 7-9, 2-14, 8-8, 6-10, 9-7, 3-13, 5-11, 5-10, 11-5.
And wait till you get to the end of the schedule because all those guys had double-digit wins.
Right, but the whole first half of the season was all piss poor teams.
No, the Seahawks weren't a piss poor team. They were the first half of the year. The Seahawks weren't a piss poor team. The Steelers weren't a piss poor team. We didn't
play Seahawks till week 10. The first game.
They weren't a piss poor team. Oh, you're saying from the first half of the season?
The first half of the season, we're all pissed.
I see what you're saying. Well, week 10 that was still our 9th game. Oh yeah, we were 8-0. We were 8-0. You're right. So that's still the second half of the season.
Right. The second half of the season was the gauntlet stretch where we played all those high teams. But I'm saying the first half of the season, the Bucks, Bengals, Steelers, Browns, Rams.
But we can't hold on. Wait. Do y'all think the Bucks were a bad team last year?
No, but I'm saying
yeah, but then we played the Ravens and the Saints back to back, didn't we?
We played Ravens, Saints, Packers.
Here's where it's gonna get tricky, right? If we have to play the Saints,
Carolina was 4-2 when we played them. We're not giving ourselves enough credit here. That's what I'm saying.
But it comes down to road and home games, right? And I know with the COVID thing, it might not be a difference between road and home because there might not be fans in the seats. I get that, but we're going at it as if it's going to be a regular football season. So that's our theology coming into the season. But if we got to play, the Jets on the road, and I'm not saying the Jets are going to be tough, but it's possible they may be tough, right? And then have to travel to New Orleans. Right, go home to play Green Bay, and then travel to Seattle. That's a gauntlet stretch, bro. It's like why they keep Why they give us these weird stretches like that? Like,
no, I feel you, man. But like, here's my thing. All right, let's do this. You guys, I'm going to name every single team that we play, and you tell me if it's a 50-50 game or if it's heavily in favor of the Niners. We'll go around the room because, for example, never mind. We'll get to it when we get to it. You guys tell me.
We should save that for the show when we get the actual schedule. You know what I'm saying? Because then we can say we can factor in travel.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be fair. What do you guys think?
No, I agree. That's because the whole travel part is the whole thing.
So when the schedule comes out, we break the news of the schedule, and if we want to, we could do a quick hitter show when we break the news of the schedule and answer that one particular question, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so we're doing 2 shows tomorrow. Is what you're saying?
Why?
He said do the breaking news for the schedule, and then we can come back and discuss the travel and all that stuff and see how we figure it out.
Or we could just do a breaking news show and then answer that one particular question on the breaking news show.
It all is in one show.
That's what I was saying.
But all right. I'm not going to have a production meeting on a live video, so we'll talk about that afterwards. Let me ask you guys this question: when we saw this schedule last year, because we knew the opponents as soon as the season ended, right? The league had to also think the Patriots were going to be a good team because they assumed Tom Brady was going to go back, right?
I agree.
He didn't. It changes a lot of stuff. Cowboys all of a sudden have a lot of really good wide receivers, right? Mm-hmm. The Saints kept Drew Brees. He went back home. You know what I'm saying?
And got Jameis Winston.
Right. So like you got to look at the Cardinals adding Hopkins in the offseason. That wasn't there before. So some stuff is definitely going to change. Some of these teams got better. Some of these teams got worse. I just don't know if I think the schedule's harder. Looking at it right now, I don't know that this schedule's hard. I can't say with any confidence. There's 2 teams on this entire schedule that make me say, "Oh, that's going to be a tough one."
So even with the teams that upgraded, you still think they're easy to beat?
No game in the NFL is easy. What I'm saying is none of these teams make me pause and say, "Oh, that's going to be a tough one." We knew Baltimore was going to be a tough one, right? We thought the Packers were going to be a tough one. I don't think any of us on this panel feel.
I didn't really think Baltimore was going to be a tough one, honestly, because we didn't start thinking it until we started seeing Lamar Jackson play the way he started playing. But when the schedule first came out, I had us winning that game. I don't know about you. That was just me because I thought he would regress in the system, and apparently he didn't because he just ran the daggone ball 95% of the time.
But you got to look at who his offensive coordinator is. That's Greg Roman.
Right.
Greg Roman's going to take a step backwards, even though we don't get to play them this year. But Greg Roman, we know what he does. Right. He gives us all his first year, and every year it does this.
It declines. No, I got you. I definitely got you.
I just don't. How many of these teams strike fear in you? Forget the schedule. Like forget the dates. How many of these teams make you say, "Damn, that's going to be tough"? Honestly, Tony, let's start with you, man. You too quiet over there, man.
I think Dallas is going to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely do. I think Dallas will be tough. I think New Orleans is always going to be a good game. I think the Bills could be a good matchup. Of course, the division games. Division games are always tough. Hold on, I'm trying to run through my head.
So Dallas, New Orleans, and Bills.
Dallas, New Orleans, Bills, division games. Who am I missing? Not the Jets, New England, not them.
You got Eagles, Redskins, Dolphins, Packers, and then you have Patriots, Jets, and Giants.
I think the Redskin game could be interesting.
What? Who's their quarterback?
Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Look at their defense that they have.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying that we added a number 2 defensive end overall from Ohio State last year, and look what he did.
We also added the number 1 left tackle in football too, so I ain't worried about them cats. Not to go against what you're saying, it's just how
that's fine.
It's just how
it's not only him though. They're another team with 4 first-round picks across their defensive line.
They got him. Montez Sweat too.
They got Montez Sweat, him, Payne, and
all non-factors last year.
Are y'all saying him? Who is him?
I don't know who him is. I
Young.
think
Say that
Chase
again,
Young.
Nick.
oh, Chase Young.
I thought y'all said him, like y'all were saying somebody, and I missed the name. That's why I was saying who was him.
Oh, Sweat. He said Montez Sweat.
I told you he shouldn't have been a first round pick. I told y'all I was
And
so worried about the
they
Niners
also
taking
have
him.
Kerrigan too. That could be a sneaky defense, man.
Kerrigan's still there?
Mm-hmm.
Brian Kerrigan still with it?
I got 7 games that aren't cakewalks.
You found? Oh wait, is it 7 counting the division?
It's counting the Seahawks in Arizona.
So then it's not really 7 because every division game in every league.
So we won't count division
So I got
games.
3 additional: Buffalo, New Orleans, and Dallas.
That's the team that Tony said. Because every division game, I get that. So I'm looking outside the division. These teams don't scare me.
Okay, so I hear
What about you, Breezy? Outside the division, what teams are sitting here making you? Oh man, I'm not betting the mortgage on that one. Like what 3?
I think
4?
the hardest teams that we play, other than New Orleans, I hate to say it, Green Bay, even though we seem to own them, is the NFC East. And I don't care what we say about the Giants or the Eagles or the Redskins, they play us tough every year. Every time we play them, those games aren't cakewalk games. I remember going to New York thinking we could beat the Giants, who just had Odell Beckham, an old ass Eli Manning, and nothing else, and we lost on Monday Night Football. I remember that because Kaepernick couldn't hit an out route or something.
I was in the drunk tank that game. I remember that game.
So
We were supposed to destroy Atlanta and we got beat.
Yeah, it's just the NFC East plays us well. And unless we have a different game plan, no matter whether we're playing at home or on the road, it's something about the NFC East. We just have to, we have to be on our P's and Q's, man. We just have to be on our game plan and execute. So those are the games. I'm not saying they scare me. I don't think the 49ers are scared of anybody. You know what I'm saying? But I think if they fall asleep at the wheel against those teams, like that can hurt those 4 teams can hurt their chances of getting that number 1 seed.
If they overlook them.
Yeah, we already know they're going to play New Orleans and Green Bay all guns out, blaze out, like because those are super games that those are bragging right games. Like I beat these teams, you know what I'm saying? They give you bragging rights, but it's those other teams. I think the NFC East is going to have the biggest, uproar in the NFC, man. The East and the West. That's where it's going to be at this year.
Okay, so
the other things that matter too to our advantage is what we were talking about with times. I mean, it depends on where we're coming from. Going to the East Coast, is it a 1 o'clock game? Is it a 4 o'clock game?
And that Nick is on fire. He's reading my mind right now because that's what I was going to say.
A lot of those that are like, we could go. Obviously we play Philly at home, but when in that Giants, Jets, and Patriots stretch,
yeah, man.
What if we're going West Coast to East Coast to mid, and then back to the East Coast? So I mean, there's a lot of these games that it really, like we said earlier, it depends on the time. Right. I mean, we all bitched and complained last year about playing a 1 o'clock game when we just came from the West Coast. Like we just like bang, 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 and then back and forth. When we played the Redskins and we played
we were complaining about it early because I think Tampa was an early game too, right?
Right, Tampa was an early game.
Tampa was a late start because of the heat.
Yes,
I know for that for a fact. That was a 4:25 start.
Yeah, it was scheduled to be the 1 o'clock game, but when that heat wave hit and they had those issues with the heat down there, they
changed to a 4:25 game.
Right, but he's saying that we were complaining about it initially.
Yeah,
wasn't that a 1 o'clock game?
It was supposed to be a 1 o'clock game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
it was supposed to be an early game, and we were complaining about it. And look, it factors in. We always talk about how the Niners get screwed with times. So
let me ask y'all this then: if we play the Cowboys in the first 4 weeks, do we win that game?
In Dallas?
Yes.
Yeah, it's in Dallas.
Yes.
Because you got to remember they got a new offense now.
Yes.
They're learning everybody there is learning something new.
Yes. Yes.
Right. I get where you're going.
If they're a late game, then watch out. It's different, right? But if we get the Cowboys early, so I don't know. Maybe I'm just feeling it a little bit too much.
Question: with all these teams right here on the schedule, who would you want to play early? Let's just say first 4 weeks. Who would you want to play? Not let's take a guess of who we're going to play, but who would you want to play the first 4 weeks of the season?
Right. Give me. All right. So let me pull up who we were playing against. Give me the Cowboys early. Give me one of the Cardinals games early. And give me. I want to look at the East Coast games.
Washington.
No.
Jets.
New England.
Giants. New England.
You know what? Give me the Patriots early. I'm going to tell you why. If their quarterback starts finding a rhythm, and we know that defense is going to be at least good, give me the Patriots early. Give me the Cowboys early. And what home game is going to worry me on this schedule? Give me the Cardinals early. That would be it. Cardinals at home, and then the 2 on the road. I want Cowboys and Patriots early.
Tony, what about you?
There's only really one, because I would say the Cowboys, because it's a new system, and going from Garrett's system to McCarthy's system, where it's complicated somewhat. That's a hard learning curve to pick up on, especially with no OTAs right now. And that leads me into my next thing. I'm really not nervous about anybody else, because the majority of them have the same coaching staffs in place, same systems in place, and we're all in the same problem. We don't have OTAs or training camps, so we're all going to come pretty much in on an equal playing field. The real difference is Dallas with a brand new staff.
Okay. Breezy, what do you think, man?
I understand the logic in the Dallas game being early, but I could care less when we play those guys, Joe. Just give me the East teams early.
Right. You want the travel time. Yeah.
I want the travel. You know what I'm saying? I'm confident, and when we're playing against teams from the Midwest to the West, like I'm confident in that. But give me those East teams early, man. Give me that New England game. That would be a great booster, just to hopefully blow them out the water, right? For Jimmy Garoppolo to gain that confidence, beat them early in the season, and just have some confidence riding into the middle of the season. Give me the Jets. Give me, I wish I can get all the travel ones. The Giants, because they're going to be on the East Coast a lot. And if you don't want to play those teams late, you don't want to play the Giants week 14 when it's freezing cold and it's brick, and you know what I'm saying, and it's snowing and doing whatever it does on the East Coast, that we know what it does on this East Coast. So, give me those teams early, yo. I'm cool with the Cardinals being late or mid-season and everybody else, but give me those teams early.
What do you think? I saw Tony with his hand up. What's up?
I just want to say that's a sleeper. That game is in New England.
Yeah, man.
That's going to be a primetime game. I'm telling you.
Even if it's early?
I think it's going to be a primetime game. It's Jimmy going back to New England, and it's Kyle versus Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I put that comment up there, earlier.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But Bill Belichick ain't playing, and Tom Brady's their guy.
Yeah, but look at the Super Bowl. Kyle had that lead. Bill Belichick, they came back on him. There's a lot going on between them two, and you throw Jimmy going home to New England as a starter for the first time with another team. That could be views, man.
The storylines are good.
I think that's a 4:00 game. I think that's a good old 4:00.
But Tony did pull up a good point, that the storylines are going to write themselves for that. Just like with the Saints game, based off of what happened last year, just like the Saints game. But you know what? I did. Someone mentioned the Saints. I think it was Y&W Jamal said it. I think it was him. Maybe we want to play the Saints early, because the comment that just came out from their head coach and Sean Payton. They think Taysom Hill is the quarterback of the future there, and he's the next Steve Young. That shit ain't gonna sit right with Drew Brees. Imagine if we play them week 2. I'm just giving out an early number, right? Imagine if we played them week 2, and Drew Brees is sitting here thinking, that's their first home game. You know what I mean? And like they pull him so they can do a trick play with Taysom Hill. He ain't gonna like that shit, especially when you're talking the way you're talking. What'd you say, Nick?
Taysom Hill.
I don't give a the overrated quarterback tight end guy. Y'all know who I'm talking about. That's
one of my games early. So
that's not going to sit right. The reason I'm not worried about the Packers, I think, is going to be a bunch of turmoil because they drafted a quarterback so early, Rodgers is already throwing hissy fits. We know it's gonna, we know what it's gonna be with them. But like that Saints game, if that happens early, that could be a good thing. That's gonna be my that's an honorable mention for me. Get them in there early. Let them.
Good.
I was gonna say, because once the dust settles, then they're gonna be like, all right, guys, we got to focus. Put all that shit to the side. But no, I want to be in the middle of the dust up. I don't want the dust to settle. You know what I mean? Like let them argue about it, man. But go ahead, Nick.
My 4 would be the home games would be Buffalo and Seattle, and the away games would be Dallas and New Orleans.
Those are the ones that you want first.
First 4 weeks, especially if we can especially if there's no fans. I'll play in a Superdome all day long with no fans.
Takes away that home field advantage, right?
Oh my God. And I'm telling you, that place is loud. Like that place is rocking. So, but yeah, those would be my 4 games that I would want to play in the beginning of the season, because I think those are 4 of the toughest games that we're going to have this year, and they're out of the way, and we can make a run.
All right. And my last question to you guys is this. How many back-to-back home games do you think we get this season? And then after that, I know Breezy said he has the latest league schedule, and they were changing it a lot. I do want to know what the league schedule said. But how many back-to-back home games do you guys think we get, if any at all?
I'm gonna go with 4.
Yeah, same
4
here.
back-to-backs?
The reason I'm gonna do that is because I don't think we play in the very beginning of the season at home. I don't think our mayor is gonna allow it.
So that means all 8 in a row at home. 4 back-to-back. Back-to-back means home game. That's 2. Home game. That's 4. Home game. That's 6. Home game. That's 8.
Back-to-back is 1 week to the next week. That's back-to-back.
Okay. So you're saying 2, and then all right, we might play somewhere, and then 2. Okay.
No, I'm gonna say 4 games. Home. That's 4 back-to-back games.
See, I thought I was gonna say we'll do back-to-back, road, back-to-back, road, back-to-back, road, back. I thought you was breaking it up. You mean consecutively back-to-back?
No. Nick answered it the right way. He did. He's saying he thinks that we're going to get 4 different times back-to-back games. So when we play at home, it's going to be for 2 weeks at a time.
Right. Okay, that's what I was thinking.
He answered it the right way. You think the same thing?
Yeah.
Every time we go home, it's for 2 games in a row.
I think so.
Tony, you agree with that?
No, I think they're going to throw a curveball, because honestly, from what I'm reading, the NFC West is going to be scheduled in the latter part of the season. So you're not going to have the back-to-back. So you're going to have, like, you'll play like maybe Seattle at home, then you play Arizona at home, then you'll be on the road for one of them, and then like a AFC team could come in there in between. I think factor in the beginning of the season, I think we have, I say about 3 we'll have total throughout the season.
3 back-to-backs.
Yeah.
I think there's only 2. And I think that we start the season not playing a home game at all in the first 4 or 5 weeks.
That's what I think, and that's why I think we are home so much. Because how our mayor and our front office do not get along.
Right.
They're going to put a stop. If they are saying there's not going to be a game there till November, they're going to hold tight, especially with all the trouble that they have with the Niners, and they come out publicly speaking about it. They're going to say.
But money talks.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
We know.
You take those first 4, 5, 6 games away from Santa Clara, they're losing money. So I mean,
but they're
losing money in that right there, but they're still going to get home games later in the season.
Yeah, I know, but like,
so they're still getting the same amount of games.
You're right.
Here's the thing. That draws a problem, because that means that the first 4 to 6 weeks of the 49ers season, 2020 season, they're going to be on the road. And we said that this schedule was going to be a cakewalk, but playing on the road is not motherfucking easy. Now, you saying yes, it is, but I don't think it's that easy. Go ahead, Mike.
I was going to just want to say it's easy if we stay on the road.
You're gonna have two young town
God
trips.
forbid we get Jets and Giants back to back.
Right.
There's no travel included in that.
No. But what if we don't get the Jets and the Giants? What if we get the Jets and then we got to go to like Midwest and then it's not not East Coast time, still like maybe Central time or whatever that is, and then come back to the East Coast. It's going to be something like that. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be. We play all the East Coast games. I want it to be that,
right? But it turned into that Ohio trip that we do every couple of years. Youngstown. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and those were the games where people didn't want that smoke. They didn't want that. When the Niners had two back-to-back road games and they stayed somewhere central, that it worked in our favor. It has worked in our favor since the Harbaugh days.
Ohio.
Yeah. So like that's what I'm saying. Like if they screw around in our first 5 weeks and we get two back-to-back East Coast games, I feel bad for those teams. I really feel bad for those teams, man. I do. This is I can't wait. All right. Oh, Nick, go ahead. I saw you look like you wanted to jump in. No, you good?
I'm good.
All right, let's talk about this league schedule, man. I don't have it here. I didn't try to look him up today, but I know Breezy said that he had a league schedule. I don't know if this is the right one. I mean, I saw 3 leaks last year and they were way off.
Okay.
One of the guys that I followed on Twitter was saying, I know for a fact that one of these 2 games are going to be the opener, and it's gonna happen, but it never happened, and we never heard him say, "Oh, my bad." Like it was they reserved rooms and. It was all kinds of sources telling them that all this stuff happened. It was not even close to what happened. So I want to hear what this league schedule is for the team, and let's see how much of it coincides with what we said.
All right, so we got week 1 versus the Miami Dolphins. So that's a home game. Week 2 at New England. Week 3 versus.
Before you continue, does this tell you prime times or no? It just tells you.
No, it just
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Week 3 versus Buffalo. Week 4, that will be a home game. Week 3, then week 4 will be back on the road to play the Jets.
Well, New England and Buffalo.
Yeah.
So it's home.
So we're getting the whole AFC East weeks 1 through AFC East. I said AFC East. AFC East weeks 1 through 4. You're getting home, road. That was up.
That hurts.
All right. And here we go. So now week 5, which you're going to get your team early. We're traveling New Orleans to play the Saints. So we're leaving New York to go to New Orleans. After that, we're coming home to play Green Bay in week 6. Then we're going on the road week 7 to play Seattle. In week 8, we're going to go back home to play the Rams. Week 9 is the bye. Week 10, we're going to Arizona to play the Cardinals.
So that's 3 home games in a row. I know you said Seattle, and that's 3 home games in a row. I'm talking my shit. Yeah, I know what I said. I know you said Seattle on the road, and I'm saying that's 3 home games in a row.
Oh, I got you. My bad.
Let's go.
You can't screw me up like that.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm talking shit. I am. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. So then, let's see. Then week 11, we are at home against the Redskins. Week 12 is Thanksgiving week. We're going to be at Dallas. Week 13, we're back at home to play Philly. So now we're getting the NFC East. See, we're getting them 4 in a row. So 11, 12, 13, 14 is all East. NFC East. Week 13 is at home against Philly. Week 14 is going to be cold as shit, and we're going to be on the road in New York. Week 15 will be at home versus the Cardinals. Week 16 will be in LA versus the Rams. And week 17 is at home versus Seattle.
Yeah, they're not giving us Seattle 2 years in a row like that. I don't like this league. I don't like it. I hear it. I think someone was telling me the week 1 against the Dolphins, and they were like, "Oh, it leaked." So it's probably the same thing that they were going off of. It's probably the same thing that they were going off of. But nah, man. I saw somebody in the comments say, "Oh, the league schedule that I saw, I can't find it now." I don't pay attention to this shit. But I think they said Packers. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can scroll up. My league schedule says week 1 versus the Jets. Where's that? Here it is. John Ramone.
Either way, we're playing AFC East teams.
Right.
So
because the Jets, but here's the difference. If it's Jets, it's on the road.
It's on the road, but the thing is, this schedule, if what you guys are saying, what the mayor is saying is correct, right? then I think we're gonna get the AFC East road games and the NFC East road games weeks 1 through 4.
Let me ask you guys this question: do you guys think the mayor's orders stand if there's going to be a no fans in the crowd, like legislature? If there's no fans in the stadiums, do you think what the mayor said makes a difference at all?
I mean, obviously, what the mayor says is important, but I think that might be a way to swindle him to saying, "Okay, you guys can play the game if it's still the social distancing with the players, and they got to be social distance too. They, like it's too much contact."
Nah, you can't social distance during football,
right? So, but this is my point, and this is why the mayor might say, "Yo, you're not playing, you're not getting people sick, and I want you getting sick." Like I don't know, man. It's a weird time. It's just a weird time, man.
Right. What do you think, Tony? If the league says no crowds throughout the season, do we have to worry about the places that said no sporting events?
I think they would play, but I think the NFL is going to have to implement a system where everyone gets tested and results get back before the start of the season, and they have to be like not quarantined, but like kept separate from others.
Well, they're going to have to do it like how I'm an essential worker. We have to get our temperature taken every single day, twice a day. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you're in the office all day long. Before you can punch in on the clock, they're scanning our foreheads. At the end of the day, they're scanning our foreheads. If your temperature rises a certain amount, they tell you don't come in the next day. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's how it is everywhere, but that's how it is at my job. So if I have a certain amount of degrees, my temperature goes up, and it's not a lot, by the way. It's like 1.7. It's not a lot at all, which is crazy because when I get my temperature taken, 90% of the time I'm in the 97s. And then there's times where I'm like 98.4. That's a big jump if you're 97.5 at first. You know what I mean? So it's not a lot. And if they're going to do that, then that one player just can't play. You know what I mean? Now depth is going to come into it. And guess what? Niners got one of the deepest teams in the league, bro. It all works in our favor. So it's cool. I'm not worried about it. But I just don't know. Nick, what do you think, man? If they say no fans in the stands, will the orders from the Santa Clara mayor stand?
I mean, you got to look at the whole factor in this thing, right? And obviously, we don't know if this is still going to be around in September or where we're going to be in September. But, the testing takes so long for this stuff to come back now. So it can take 2 to 14 days that you could be carrying it and you have no idea. So the temperature that day could be perfect, but you still actually have the virus and you're just not showing any signs or symptoms.
Right, so, asymptomatic people, yeah.
Absolutely. Right, to people that are asymptomatic. So it's really tough to say because each governor or mayor, obviously I think the governor will override mayors.
Right. It's state law.
The state. So if the governor in California says that things are open back up, then there's nothing they can do as into.
No, that's not how it works. It doesn't work like it should work like that, but that's not how it works because it's the opposite, yo. States have control over their own laws. So like the governor can say shut this down for certain things. Like, if it's regulated through the government, whatever, yes, it can automatically shut everything down. But if the governor says shut this down and the mayor says, nah, we're gonna open up because it's not regulated by the government, like a football team or whatever, they can open it up. So if the governor says it's okay, but the mayor says, nah, man, I don't want nobody in my city, then the mayor can override that government. It's weird. Don't ask me why it's like that.
No, but it makes sense. It makes sense because the Pennsylvania, where I live, is a huge state, right? Our governor can't dictate what's happening in this little pocket of the city that I live in. If the outbreaks are really bad in my city, our mayor can shut shit down. Mm-hmm. Like that's just the way it is. And it makes sense. The further away from it you are, the less you should be dictating what's happening here. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. If someone in my house is COVID-19 positive, but all of my neighbors are clear, I can't let anybody in my house. You get what I'm saying? Doesn't mean that nobody can visit my street. My house
Right,
is all of a sudden under quarantine.
But the governor, so I'm just going to speak on New Jersey's behalf. The governor has final say. What he says happens in the state of New Jersey. So,
right, if he says shut down,
override him. A mayor cannot override him. They have to follow suit as what the governor is saying.
They can override him if the governor says everything is open. Then they can. The mayor can say shut it down. But the other way around, no. If the governor says everything is closed, then everything stays closed. You get what I'm saying? So the further away from it you are, you can shut it down. If there's still a federal shutdown, nobody has anything.
Right.
But if they open it up on the federal level and then they open it up on the state level, then it goes to the cities to keep it open or shut it down in individual cities is what we're saying. But the other way around, then you're right. You know what I'm saying, Nick?
So it's just, I don't know. It's a tricky situation. Like I said, if the governor says that things can open and the mayor says no, then that's basically being out of spite, and then that's on them if they do that or not. That'll be a really, really big fight. But I think, look, the schedule. This is what worries me about it right now because the schedule wasn't even released yet, and the mayor came out and said there were no games will be played in the county of Santa Clara until November.
But he said that like a month ago.
Right, but the schedule has been being worked on. So that's why I'm saying his comment or her comment, whoever for Santa Clara County, could dictate what happens with the schedule release.
Right. And the thing is,
so it doesn't matter if it opens or if it doesn't open. Like the schedule, once the schedule's out, the schedule's out.
Right, but that comment was made based off of the pace of how things were for the mayor I'm talking about, right? Or for the county. That comment was made based off of it's still growing. So no, at this rate, nothing's going to open until November, which is what the comment was, right? But in the last couple of weeks, if they're seeing either it staying steady or decreasing, that mayor can change their mind. There was no signed act of legislature. It was at this rate, this is what's going to happen.
Right. No, I know that they can change that, but I'm saying the schedule, you know what I mean? That things have just started changing in the last week or two.
Right.
So
because the NFL,
the schedule's already done. It's just not released. Yeah. So it could have dictated how they did the schedule for the 49ers.
Right. And this is another thing that I think about the
because the schedule was supposed to be released earlier than it is now.
Well, and this is the thing. We know that Santa Clara, like the stadium Levi's is used for a lot of concerts and wrestling events and monster truck events and X, Y, and Z, right? We all understand that. But right now, none of that stuff is being scheduled. This is the only thing being scheduled right now.
Correct.
It's different. There are no conflicts at all right now. Remember there was was it Beyonce or Taylor Swift? There was a conflict with us for one thing, and then the NFL had to like readjust their schedule release right at the end of it. It was last year or the year before. It was one of those big female performers had something booked already, and then the NFL wanted to do something. They were like, "Oh shit, we have to change it for her." But that's not happening. There aren't any conflicts right now. So if they change their mind tomorrow, then everything is okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I saw a comment in here. It says you don't just have to worry about the 49ers either. You have to worry about all these other governors and things in their cities, because it's not like President Trump or the president of the United States. I don't even want to say his name, but President of the United States
says, he's still our president, whether we like him or not. Don't matter.
Right.
President,
if the president says, right now, even the president saying, we got to do this or we got to do that, and governors are saying, no, we're not doing it that way. We're doing it this way in our states.
They override him.
They override
him, right? So if they, let's say we have to play New York, for example, right? We got to go to the Jets and Giants. It's one of the most infected places in the United States.
Yes, sir.
And if they say nobody's playing there, that screws up the schedule also.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So, and I think New Jersey is following suit with what New York is because we're so close. Same thing with where you guys are at, Wayne, in Connecticut, right? They're all following suit. PA as well. All those little
Massachusetts.
Yeah, all those mass areas around the Northeast where there's a ton of infections.
Correct.
And here's the thing about the Northeast in particular, specifically with the Giants and Jets, right? Everyone thinks the Giants, Jets, they think New York. What the New York Kumo, or whatever his name is, says goes. Wrong. The Giants and Jets play in New Jersey.
Yep.
And in New Jersey, they just extended it today. They just extended the quarantine another 30 days.
Yeah, man.
It just happened today.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what even New York says. Now you got to really pay attention to where teams play. I don't know how it's going to work in Baltimore. I don't know how it's going to work for Washington, because those are in like a little small nook of each city, and there's borderlines there. So I don't know how
the
it's going
problem
to work.
is a lot of people there travel to New York City to work, and that's why these places are so infected, because people travel, from Connecticut to New York, New Jersey to New York, Baltimore, PA to New York. Like, they travel to work, and you know what the people are there. How many people there are in just the city of New York City. So those are all like you said, Mike, that's a good point. The Jets and Giants play in New Jersey. They play in East Orange, New Jersey. It's not New York City.
Mhm.
It's right across the river. But
the people. This is all about the people, guys, and I think that's what we're forgetting. Now, if the NFL says there won't be any fans in the stadiums, like how they're doing NASCAR, like in a couple of weeks, okay. Right, then the games might go on, and then there's no really such thing as home field advantage, right? I mean, other than the time travel, because there's no fans there. So I could see football going in that route, and toward the beginning of the season, which be like maybe like they'll start with like the first 4 weeks, and then they'll go another 4 weeks if things aren't getting better, and then if things start to get better, they'll start to trickle in, and the fans will start to come in. But can you imagine? Okay, can we just imagine what social distancing would be like at a sporting event? Because I can't. Like, I can't imagine it. It's already crowded as like heck, right? And I mean, it would just be like World War Z, like straight up. I mean, I'm just saying, like the effect, like we're talking. The issue with COVID. And I don't want to talk about it a lot on this show. And I get it that numbers are inflated or whatever. The issue is it's a virus that we've just never seen before, right? As far as scientists wise, whether they knew it was coming or not. And there's just no cure yet. There's no vaccine, for it yet. And without that, and this is why people are dying, because without the vaccine, Nick, Mike, Tony, Wayne, we can't go get shot up and then go hit the game like we can for chicken pox or the flu.
Just like with the flu, you can get a flu vaccine and still get your flu later.
Exactly.
It still won't make a difference. It's just something that's going to have to take its natural course.
It's going to have to take its natural course. So I think they slowly start to figure things out. So they might start the season over with just football, no fans, and everybody better get their TV popping. Like it's just going to be that. And we're gonna have to rock out with it, and the fans are gonna have to adjust to that, because now they don't hear cheering going on, right? It's gonna be a quiet, silent game,
or no huddles,
or they don't gotta worry about no huddles. It's gonna be awkward, but that's what it's gonna be.
If you rocking with nothing but Niners during the season, I got some stuff up my sleeve. I promise you. I promise you. If they say nobody can get in these stadiums, I got something for the faithful. I got something for us, bro. We're gonna be all right. We gonna be all right. Like we good. We good. We gonna watch these games, and we gonna cheer, and we gonna make noise, and we gonna do that shit together. Like we gonna rock out. I promise you. Now I can't tell you what it's gonna sound like on TV. Mute the volume and watch it with us during the live streams if necessary. Like I got y'all. We good. We gonna be good over here, man. We gonna be good.
Yeah, the thing that they're worried about, and being honest with you, is like things are gonna start to open back up, right? And then they're afraid of that second wave of not having a vaccine and things hitting, and that's where if you get those gatherings of 40,000 plus people, that's something to worry about.
It only takes one, Nick.
That's what I'm saying. You get all those, you start opening all these things up, especially to people who are low immune systems and things like that. Like Mike always messing with some controls over there.
I'm trying to get rid of the background. I wanted it just to be the four of us. I don't know I don't remember which one it is.
Go to brand.
Oh, okay. No, no. I wasn't trying to get rid of the background. I wanted it to be full screen, the four of us. I'm sorry. Nope. See, that's what I did too. Now y'all laughing at me. It's all right. Just leave it. It's cool. I'll just change the thing.
Just take the comment off.
No. Is that what it is?
Yeah, just take the comment off.
It'll work.
But yeah, so I don't know, man. It'll be interesting to see what they do. Either way, a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money, one way or the other.
Look, guys, the schedule comes out tomorrow. I'm excited. You excited? You're excited. Tony's excited. Let's just go ahead and get that schedule and then see what the hell we're going to work up for tomorrow's show.
7:30 Eastern time or 4:30 Pacific?
4:30 Eastern time, I believe. Right? 4:30.
No. I don't know.
I thought it was 4:30
Pacific, right?
We got a request from the
4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern.
Okay, so 7:30 Eastern. So we got some time. We got a long time.
Tony, what do you think?
On what?
I don't know. They miss your voice, man. You got to speak.
How do you think the season's gonna pan out? I guess if this corona, we were talking about the mayor of Santa Clara saying there won't be any 49er football and stuff like that. So what are your views on that if there's no football played at home when the season starts?
I mean, I don't know. I think it. Listen, this is a big industry. It's a big business. It's a money-making thing. And if they're going from what I'm reading, scheduling all the out-of-division, out-of-conference games early, that's saying, well, expect like a late start. And the important games are going to be on the back end of the schedule. Just, hypothetically saying. I mean, you really can't control it with 40, 50, 60,000 people in the stadium. So if they're going to do it, it's probably going to be empty stadiums. And, some of the players are like, yeah, whatever. Some of the players are like, well, we play for the fans, da-da-da-da. So that's a whole nother issue. So, I mean, as far as – I don't know. I hope it starts on time, man. That's all I'm saying because I miss football.
That's the other thing is like, baseball players have like like I was saying earlier about baseball players saying they're not going to do it. How many football players are going to hold out and say, I'm not going to play till this stuff is taken care of?
I think less than 1% football players hold out. You're giving up game checks, and it's not like baseball where how many games they play in baseball? 100?
It don't matter. All that stuff is guaranteed.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
My point, though. That's my point. One, it's not like that in the NFL. It's not all guaranteed. And two, it's per game checks. You only get 16 of these mugs. Like, you're not sitting out a game. They're not going to do it. They can talk it. They're not going to do it. They're not. Le'Veon Bell said, I'm sitting out the whole season. What does ass do at the end of the season? He sat out. He regretted it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, what if there's a majority saying we're not going to come to work and they can't have a season?
Yeah, it sounds good on paper.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying it's still something that can possibly happen.
Yeah, I mean,
an option.
It could possibly happen, yo. I agree with Nick. I mean, just look at us in the real world, yo. I don't feel comfortable going back to work, and I work with kids in the school system. But
I think about I'm going to go here and go home to my family,
and that's my theory process or my thought process.
I've been doing it. There's ways, guys. There are ways, and that's the thing.
It's not about there being ways, but I work with kids. You don't, so there's a big difference. You might work with people and health and whatever. I'm working with nasty, germy kids. That's just what we are. We're human beings. We carry germs. I just think until
no, it's just because there's some dirty MFers out there that don't wash their hands.
Shut up, Nick.
That's why we're at this place, man.
People scratch their ass and don't go to the bathroom. They watch. Yo, that's what it is. I'm tired of seeing people go to the bathroom and coming out of the bathroom.
And they did. Well, I can't say what I want to say, but
yeah, no, we can't say that. We can't say it. Tony is Dr. Xavier. They call you Dr. Xavier, yo.
Tony is ready to get up out of here, man. I had a good time on tonight's show, man. Fellas, let's get some final thoughts off and let's get here, man. Let's get some final thoughts, man. This is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to do the breaking news for for the show. I got to remember to take a jersey with me to work tomorrow so we can do the breaking news. I'm going to be on the road when it happens.
Well, we won't have to do it because it's not till 7:30 tomorrow night.
Oh, that was the final consensus? I heard y'all going back and forth between 1
Yeah,
and 4.
it's 7:30, 8 p.m. around that time. So we'll just do a regular show and break the news live.
All right. I'm with it. I am with it, man. That's going to be it for us.
Bang,
Any final thoughts, man? For real? Any final thoughts, fellas? Tony, we start with you.
None. I don't know. I just want to see the schedule, man. I'm really dying to see it and how bad we get screwed as far as our travel and stuff. That's it. Just can't wait tomorrow. Actually, 7:30 the team releases it, and 8 o'clock it's released by like the ESPN and the NFL networks. So it's going to be reported by the team before. So just keep your eyes on the website.
All right. Let's go with Breezy, and then we'll go with Nick.
Great show, fellas. I like the fact that we're anticipating what's going to happen next year with the schedule. We picked our primetime games, what we think are going to be primetime games, and we will find out tomorrow. So make sure you have your subscribe button and your alerts turned on because we will be going live during the scheduled show. All right, so make sure you do that, man.
Yes, sir. Nick, man, your final thought.
I was going to say, big shout out to all the nurses.
Let me make it full screen. I got you. I got you. Hold up. There's that one right there. Huh? I see you, Breezy. I got you too, man. I see you. Tony's got his. I'm going to get Tony back up there too. Huh? Happy Nurses Day, man. We appreciate y'all. We really do. You're nothing but Niners. We do. We really, really, truly appreciate you guys. Go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that was it. That was just, I got to get back because I turned my green screen back on. Good show. Like I said, as always, man, I'm just like Tony, man. I'm anxious to see what the schedule's like. I wish I would have known if the home opener was going to be at home in September because like 3 weeks ago, I looked at plane tickets to San Jose and they were like $38 round trip. And I would have been I was going to end up buying all 4 weeks and then just eating the $38 for the other weeks. But
you still might get
it's going to be, so and if it obviously started on time. So, I'm excited to see where we're headed this year, how the schedule is going to pan out, what it looks like with travel time, things like that. And then I can get a little bit more excited and get ready for that revenge tour, man.
Absolutely. And I'm going to pull mine up here one more time because I didn't go full screen at the end here. But again, shout out to my cousin, KJ, Kaneen Pringle. Yeah, her name is Kaneen. I don't know. She's the only Kaneen I've ever heard of in my entire life. That's my cousin. I love her. KJ. Neen, we love you. Shout out to all the nurses out there doing their thing. We really, really appreciate you guys. And what I want to say to piggyback on Nick, once the schedule drops, I'm not going to tell anybody not to book their tickets. Just make sure you get flight insurance in case you have to cancel. It's only an extra couple of bucks, and it is worth it in the grand scheme of things. I promise you. If you have to cancel, if you have to cancel, they cover your room fees, they cover your flight fees. I'm speaking from experience. When I had my vasectomy and everything went wrong, I got everything back plus a little extra. So it is cool. I'm telling you guys, trip insurance is worth it, especially in the event that we have to cancel with what's going on in the world today. So that's going to do it for us here tonight, guys. We want to thank you all for rocking out with us. Make sure you give us those thumbs up, the like and subscribe. I can't believe we went almost 2 hours and 20 minutes talking about a schedule that has not been released yet. That's solid work right there, man. You're not going to get that from anybody else.
Solid as a rock.
Ooh, let's go. That's going to do it for us, man. We're going to sign off, and we're going to get out of here. You guys take care of yourselves. Hug your loved ones. Again, rest in peace to Bryant Young's mother, and happy birthday to everybody that we talked about earlier. It was Rocco's wife. I still don't know what her name is. I don't know if he posted it in there, but happy birthday to Rocco's wife. And Avery, thank you, man. Thank you, for being a nurse and getting out there and taking care of us, man. We really, really appreciate it. We're going to sign out. You guys have a wonderful evening. We will see you guys tomorrow. Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always remain faithful.
We out of here.
Peace.